GG's The Mouthful podcast is brought to you by goodgame.tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog. This is going to be the real episode 86 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
I feel like we switched to the PBS.
The PBS version?
The PBS version of it. It's like the delicious podcast.
The delicious podcast.
I think it's because we're all tired here.
PBS,
we're just like,
It's not a Friday. It's a regular work day.
It's the Happy Trees podcast. Happy Trees.
Yeah.
Happy Trees here. Happy Trees. Look at how beautiful they are growing
the
up.
Bob Ross, the Bob Ross podcast.
Yes. Those voices, of course. First off is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. Thank you so much, sir.
That's better.
And yes, much better. And of course, Chris Montanez, aka Shadow 24/7.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to do that.
Of course, to break everybody's ears.
GG? Oh, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a...
You're going to have to take your headset off when he's like, wait.
It would...
Because it was all quiet.
It could happen at any moment.
And then
At any moment, you know? Say,
off the chart.
Broke the mic.
Yes, well done. Guys, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. That takes you right to our Facebook group, premier Facebook group, one may say. Also, if you listen to this on any of the podcast services or, of course, on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We're going to start with we always start with, and that is what have we been up to. Today, I'm just going to start with myself because
that's
how I roll.
Time.
Yeah, that's how I roll. At least today, anyway. I've actually, funny thing is, I started noting what I've been doing, and I've done a little bit here. I've done quite some stuff, so that's why I kind of wanted to start, just get it out of the way. Yeah.
You take the cake this time because I don't have much that I've done this. That's been different enough.
That's surprising.
Yes. Very recently, I revisited a couple games. I won't stay long on them, but I did want to mention them. First of all, Warframe. Revisited that actually yesterday, and normally I have time on Wednesdays to play.
So how many menus did you unlock?
Oh my God, there's menus upon menus, dude. I only did like a couple missions, and I guess I'm like so low level that there's very little I can do, so I just need to just do missions. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I just have to
open the world.
Yeah. So that said, you can see that there's a lot to do here. So
there's some love put into that game, isn't it?
Love put into. The funny thing is, there was this update, which kind of threw me off a little bit. Where you know how you go in to see what the
Battle Royale.
No battle. But basically, you go in. And it tells you what the new whatever, and it goes, whoever's doing this, if this is your first time joining us here, you picked an interesting time to join us.
Oh, that's
you know, and I was like, yeah, I'm late to the show, guys. I'm sorry.
Super late, man.
Hey, man, what the hell?
No, I'm saying going into Warframe right now, I don't think it's an easy treat. That's like trying to go.
It's a little daunting. Definitely.
It's like me trying to go into EVE Online right now. You know, sure, I'm gonna be pressing some buttons, but is it gonna make sense? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Like, didn't their anniversary come up not too long ago for Warframe?
For Warframe?
Warframe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know they were doing something that
I saw some. They had a new
something.
Yeah, they had a new like I don't know.
A little thing that they were just saying a thank you to everyone. They just gave everyone like some stuff.
That's probably for being nominated. They should have won.
Maybe
they should have won. Yeah.
Warframe. I also revisited Thumper. And
oh my God, Thumper.
My God, is that game still amazing? It gets
that game
hard
is
in the middle.
That game is difficult. Did you beat it?
No, I got to I'm in the you can see the levels.
Yeah,
there's like 10 levels, so I'm like 5 or 6 in the middle somewhere.
That game is cool in the sense that you have as a rhythm game. I don't recall playing a rhythm game so tense.
Yeah,
there's something about the soundtrack of that, which is simple, it's tribal, but it's awesome too at the same time.
Somebody described it. I don't remember where I read it or heard it somewhere, and they were like, "This is a rhythm game where the game hates you.
Yeah.
It's just
rhythm violence. I heard.
it's exactly rhythm violence, and it's really good. Apparently, it's on VR. I never tried the VR version, but it's pretty good. And then finally, I revisited What Remains of Edith Finch after
my God.
it won the award.
Sir,
and
what are you? So you finished? You obviously finished the
getting to that.
Frozen.
Getting to
Wow.
I'm going in the order of
Wait, didn't
most
you say-
recent.
Oh, okay. And going back. Okay.
going back.
I was
Did
gonna
you say
say.
he had like 10 games out?
Yeah. No, I know. It's like, hey, and I played this,
Honestly,
and I just played this, and I'm like, I just
That had more
I
to
just got
do.
you a game the other
know,
day.
I know. I'm sorry.
When are you? When are
Honestly-
you tearing on that? Why are you ignoring it?
I'm not
Because
ignoring
there's
it.
always that game
There's
ADD.
yeah. That's what it. That's why that I was gonna say. That's actually why it's all laid out. It's like,
Yeah.
what should I play? And then you grab stuff like,
But you don't replay the stuff that you have played. Well, actually,
I
shouldn't
do
be talking.
replay. Yeah, I do replay. So anyway, I cannot recommend What Remains of Edith Finch more. You guys have to really give this a shot.
If you keep playing it, it's not gonna remain much.
It's oh man, I'm telling you, it's the story is so awesomely told. It does fall within that walking simulator thing, but it's so much more than that. It's the way the story is told to you and the way it unfolds. That's so cool.
I can feel it. You know what game is
Giant
also
Sparrow,
like,
man.
like
Giant
that?
Sparrow is good stuff.
You should be playing To the Moon.
To the moon.
You
To
should
the
be-
moon, Alice. To the moon.
You should be playing To the Moon. Seriously, if you like story over gameplay, that game has one of the best stories.
All right. This is what we're going to do.
Uh-huh.
Here's what we're going to do. I already own To the Moon, so it's not going to be hard to get to.
Yeah.
You have to play What Remains of Edith Finch, wherever you want to play
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh, I'll play To the Moon," which is 2 hours, and you play The Witcher, which is 200.
Sorry, I gave up on The Witcher. You're never going to do it, so it is what it is. However, this is not. This is about probably the same length. So
2 hours?
yeah,
Okay.
2 maybe 3 hours.
All right,
It's
that's
easily.
I do
digestible.
want to play. I think I might even own it. To be honest, on PC,
That
I
is
might
a travesty that you own this and you have not even played it.
even. Really, To the Moon? Really?
No, I played To the Moon. Yeah.
You played it?
Look, did To the Moon win anything?
It did when it came out.
I'm just
There's
kidding,
a sequel coming out. That's why I want to get you up to speed. There's a sequel coming in December.
I'll look at it. I have it, and I think I tried starting it, To the Moon, and I don't know what it was. It's
It was the 8-bit graphic.
first off is on my PC, so
Yeah.
immediately I'm already
yeah,
like,
that's
this is
it
already,
already.
this is already
Yeah.
second class shit here. So I don't,
Mind you, the same platform where he played Cuphead,
Well,
another
Okay,
second class
but he did
game.
it
Hey,
with the controller,
had
not
no
with the
choice.
keyboard.
no
You can
choice.
play with the controller on this game. Have you played To the Moon? You should totally
No.
play To the Moon. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It will make you
If I
cry.
can get
Really?
it.
See, you're already selling it now.
Huh?
You're overselling it now.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you cry.
Hey, it made
You know
me
what
cry.
you should also play if you haven't yet? Gone Home.
I have played that. That's actually good.
Yeah.
That's,
I think I'd be spoiled
Everyone's
a little bit
Gone
on
to
Gone Home.
Rapture.
That-
That's another good one.
the problem with the difference between those are all falling under
Walking
walking
simulators.
simulators, yeah. There should be another word for because that seems almost demeaning. But
well, it is demeaning.
Yeah.
That is not the name of the genre.
what is the name of the genre?
Narrative story. That narrative. I don't know.
It's narrative.
3D
story.
narrative story. We'll put it that way.
narrative story. That sounds ridiculous.
They do call it a walking simulator.
Yeah,
'cause all you
because
do
we
is
don't
just
know.
walk
Yeah,
it.
but the difference is, with,
I don't think they're describing their game as, oh, yeah, we're making that walking simulator.
No, they don't.
That
It's
sounds
a
horrible.
narrative story.
you know, I should look up
There
their
you go. That's the name that
which
we're
one,
going to
which
give it.
a narrative story based
story-based.
narrative. Yeah, it's just a narrative.
But that's
Well,
not a
narrative.
genre.
like,
yeah,
like it's like a book,
Okay.
like a
So
storybook.
it's,
So it's a
I'm going to
narrative.
find out now. You
It
keep
is
talking.
No,
a
they do call
interactive
it-
visual novel.
There you go. I like it. Is.
No,
It's
no,
a
but they
3D
do call
visual
it
novel. How
a
about that?
narrative.
So anyway, definitely I enjoyed that while he looks up what the actual name is. I just started playing on my phone because yes, I'm getting more into some phone games here, dudes.
But not on PC gaming, but phones is okay.
Phones is
Well,
it's
that's
with me all
if
the
he's
time.
watching TV, he can play some games. Like,
I
there's
just
nothing wrong with
downloaded
that.
Puzzle Fighter, which looks like the most recent update or not update edition of Puzzle Fighter. It's actually pretty fun. Yes, it's free to play. Yes, it has loot boxes. Yes, you can spend money to get stuff. I'm still enjoying it.
But
I
it's a
haven't
free
spent any
game.
money.
If
Yeah, I
it's a
haven't
free
spent any
game, that's
money on
fine.
it, so
Yeah.
it's pretty decent.
If it's a free game, that is all right. Okay, I'm going to the wiki of what remains of Edith Finch. It says it's a story-focused drama and first-person gameplay. So it's a first-person
Okay, but
story drama.
There you go.
Okay, so
There you go.
your biggest like
The genre is described as adventure, so we'll leave
thing
it at
that
that.
you did here is that you went to the wiki page instead of just somewhere else.
Oh, well, either way. That's fine. The wiki page generally takes it from what they described it as, no?
Yeah, they're putting it. They're generalizing it as it's an adventure game.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's a good game. It's a GG. You guys need to
It's
get
2 hours. You
Shout
can play
out
it.
to
So-
Giant Sparrow.
So it'll be GG's stamp of approval.
Yes, most
Oh,
definitely.
we're giving the quality.
Well,
seal?
I will.
Is it? Are we nominating? When it came out
This year.
this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it on the list? You put it on the list on the top 10.
I will
that
tell
we
you.
will. Now, I mean,
Top
we're not
10.
having. I'm asking you.
If
Does
it's
it
a
make it
top
that
10,
good?
it's
Own
way in the
award
top
show.
10.
Do you
Hell
hear
yeah.
that?
Easily
you're
in the
putting
top
it?
10.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
shoot.
On the top 10? Hell yeah.
Dude, I mean, 2017 has had some amazing games. You're telling me that?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I'm not
Amazing
arguing
games.
that.
Very few games that actually have an awesome story. And are told in this awesome way.
Well, you're giving it story of the year then, or are you giving it game of the year? Oh, in the list. I mean, are you putting it on the list of game of the year or story of the year?
I don't know.
Who cares?
We'll get to
Anyway,
We'll get to that when we get to that particular episode. I did finish The Frozen Wilds, which
you
is
think?
the expansion from Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought it was good.
did it add anything to the main story, or was it a story on its own?
It is the way it's done. It's a weird thing. The way it's done is, as I mentioned before, it's not after the main event. It's you can actually get, and then obviously if you get the special edition, it'll be already in the map when you load it. So it's because it's that type of thing where it's not meant to be after the main story.
No, it's kind of like
It's not as bombastic as as everything ends.
Well, it does have some great improvements over the.
Oh,
over the
no,
gameplay,
yeah.
over
Well,
the original game.
Dude, the snow is an amazing thing to see. There are hills that are literally like knee high for her in snow, and she walks through them, and it just peels away like it was regular snow, dude. And then if you turn around, stare, and you just stare there, it'll take a while, but you start seeing that snow pile
Coming
back
back
up
up?
because it's constantly snowing. And
Wow,
I'm like,
that's an amazing
this
engine.
is amazing, yeah. And yes,
That is
props
the
to
same
them.
engine that is about to
Hideo Kojima. That's
that
right.
Hideo Kojima is using for
Yes.
their
Talk about choosing a good freaking engine.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yes, other than that, I mean, they did introduce some new machines, and they were good. They were good, but man, they were tough. They're like, hey, how do we make something tougher than Thunderjaw? Let's do something crazy and just make him so unfair.
Wow.
He can't. They have this one where it can be pretty far from you, and it can still hit you with stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? You know
Does
what I
it
mean?
have like homing missiles or something?
No, what it does, it's almost like a bear or like an ape. And it's huge, and it just like
A man bear pig.
What it does with his hands, it'll hit his hands onto the ground, and then wherever you are, you'll start seeing like these shots of ice
ice?
coming from underneath you,
Oh,
and
icicles?
you can be ways away. You know what I mean?
And it'll grab you.
Huh?
And it'll
get you from there. Yeah, it'll start hitting you from there. I'm like, man, how does he even know where I'm at? You know what I mean?
I played I'll say probably halfway through, but I still haven't discovered the areas that you enter where you can override the computer system so that now you can override the monsters and get them to join you in fights.
Kinda like the
I know where
little
that is.
temples?
Okay.
I don't think that's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I'm having a hell of a time. Because that's
That
one
was
of
your technique.
my technique was always okay. I got to the new area on the original game. Let's book it to that cave or whatever. Let's override the computer, and then I can use the the enemies that are attacking me, even the most powerful ones, like the one that uses stealth. That is like a panther.
Yeah.
There's like a big panther, and if you get that on your side, man, you'll be killing them.
I know what you're talking about. That particular spot, it looks like what you think it is, and it's not. It's something else. I know this is being
Okay.
very vague, guys. I'm sorry,
course.
but I
We
don't
don't
want to. I don't want to
wanna
ruin
spoil,
anything. But
No, that's
essentially,
fine.
yeah,
That's good, that's good.
essentially,
I'm glad that
I
it's-
haven't
it's
played
there.
it yet.
So the whole deal is, which is why That's a reason why it's very challenging, because these new ones or the old ones that are affected by the new ones, you can't override them. So that becomes now you have to, okay, well, how do I do this? You know what I mean? And they're stronger on top of that, so it's like, but that makes it challenging. I didn't in any way find it unfair. Definitely enjoyed the heck out of that. The machine killing thing, dude, is. There's something about it, dude. I never, ever get bored doing it. I jumped back in after I finished it and just kept going just to fight stuff because I wanted to. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of fun. God, that game is so well done, dude. I mean, they literally invented something. They invented a lore, invented a just something amazing. And these guys never did anything like this before, you know?
Yeah.
Which I'm a little bit salty about what happened with the Game Awards, because I'm like, they need there should be some sort of not recognition.
I mean, that was some might say being nominated is recognition enough, but they didn't get any awards after all the achievement,
several
accomplishment of
nominations.
that.
You would think though, because it's post-apocalypse.
Oh, keep talking. That's my phone telling me I gotta go check the beer.
Okay, so why he checked the beer?
Baby. So it's like a it's post-apocalypse, but instead of what we usually know, grungy and all, it's
correct.
More, it regressed back to the tribal era.
It
but
goes
with
so far.
Oh, it's post-apocalypse, as they would call it.
Yeah,
post.
Exactly. That's a very good.
But it showed that the Earth was obviously ravaged, but then it regrew itself.
Yeah,
it is.
It saved itself.
It is a beautiful game, and yes, I do recognize it. It's definitely on the top tier of the games.
Let me tell you too, the nights. It's funny because I spent so much time in the frozen wilds that I hadn't gone to any of the other areas. But I went and I was like, it's nighttime and it's ice cold. You're walking on ice and you're hearing cracks, and it's gorgeous, dude. It's like the most gorgeous winter night. I'm like, this is amazing. And then I was like, did they do this for this one? Did they put extra? So I went back to the other areas and I went there and I was like, no, they're all beautiful. I just forgot what the other ones looked like.
Yeah.
Because I went back to where the grassy area and then everything's just flowing with the wind. I'm like, man, Guerrilla Games, man.
I think
shout out to Guerrilla
you'll
Games.
See fireflies too.
Yes.
Yeah, you do see fireflies.
Oh,
there's so good. The only thing that I can say, the only nitpick that I give to the game is that, to me, and this might be just a thing of I don't like bow and arrows that much in gaming. So the fighting, the battling the monsters, that was like the weak point for me. But it's not to say that it's bad. It's actually quite good. It's just
not your preferred method.
Yeah, but and the reason I realized because I had the same problem with the last Lara Croft game, which that game is great. I love that game, but again, bow and arrow, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think I said it. Yeah, I might have even said it on the same podcast, and I'm repeating myself now that I wish at one point that Halo would get like a gun or something that we a little bit more accurate than.
I understand what you're saying. I've always been.
I mean, I don't want that to happen, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
I've always had
give her a whip
of an affinity towards swords and spears and bow and arrow. I when they're done right, because let's be real, there's been a lot of games prior that do not do them well. When done right and with technology the way it has been, this one really. Really
to be fair, they do of the bow and arrows. They do it right. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because even Zelda, I don't like the fact that it's with one button I'm pushing. I'm pushing and releasing the arrow just with one. So I don't have a way of like. Yes, I can press the analog button to kind of like zoom in, but it's not. It doesn't feel the same. Like it doesn't have the precision of
this one.
Of this one in particular. Yeah,
I got you. Those are the games I've been playing. A couple things that I've seen. Just finished Iron Fist, the season of Iron Fist on Netflix, and my take is, don't watch this. It's not
completely
good.
Skippable.
It's not good. And the funny thing is, I say it's not good, and for whatever reason, I saw it through the end. And by the time I got to the end, I was like,
because you're a completionist. You're a completionist.
But that said, it's a trudge, dude. It is.
Yeah.
The problem is, and this is a big issue with a lot of these Marvel series, is that it doesn't need to be 13 episodes. Make it 7 if that's what the story requires. Here they're doing 13 because they want to do 13. They have to fill in 13. You know what I mean? So you have this long portion in the middle. You're like, what are we doing? Why are we in a boardroom meeting? He's Iron Fist. He should be fighting somebody. You know. Anyway, that said, I did it specifically because I wanted to go see the Defenders. Probably going to feel the same way about it, but it is what it is.
No interest.
Yeah, no, yeah, I hear you.
This is why you started The Punisher.
Yeah, well, you know how I am. I got to see things in order. I cannot go out of order for whatever reason, even if it's torture. even if it's torturous.
He have to put himself through.
Yes, through Iron Fist. Oh yeah, that's it.
And Nick and
Luke Cage. Yeah,
and Luke Cage. I still want to call him Nick Cage. Starting episode of this Cage will be pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take a couple seasons of that.
Of course.
Face
Off.
Face Off, yeah.
Face Off, Nicolas Cage. That'll be awesome. Con Air, Nicolas Cage.
Con Air, he was just a little bit more like...
Okay, so how about...
Face Off, he was freaking...
How about National Treasure?
What was his name in Face Off? I forgot his name, but anyway, he was pretty decent. He was crazy. That look that he did, like, you know,
yes, I know.
Eyes open and all this. Then he feels up that girl, the little girl.
Oh my god!
Well, not the little girl, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, she was a minor. She was a
minor. Yeah.
She was a choir.
The choir girl. Yeah,
the choir girl.
Anyway, final thing that I've seen, and I'll leave it on this, is Lady Bird, which we actually all went to see.
We saw Lady Bird.
I was wondering. Air 5.
Air 5, yes.
5.
She's on the other end there. Yes, we saw...
Oh my God, it's hot in here.
I'm sorry, sir.
Taking my shirt off.
Oh, no. Not
Getting
again.
into sexy.
No.
All right.
Do you got singles?
Oh, no. We're not paying for this.
Joking.
This is DLC. Yeah, you know.
No, not even free to play, my friend.
It's a loot box.
No, definitely not.
All right, let's stop. So,
How
Lady
did we
Bird
get-
and go.
Lady Bird,
It's a
we went
special kind of movie.
it is a special kind of movie. I liked it. I think it was good.
We all went to the
Yeah, I
Instant
really
Theater.
did.
Enzian Theater, which is a it's I want to say like an indie
Old school.
old school, yeah, because they show a lot of old movies and new
small theater,
independent film, but great because they have food and they have drinks. They have a full bar.
Oh yeah,
It's
that was
like
super fun.
the best type of place to watch anything. Really,
Yeah.
I saw Enter the Dragon there in the
Oh,
theater.
yes.
You know, I was like, man, I never thought I'd be able to see Enter the Dragon in a theater, and here I am sitting chilling with it. Unfortunately, there was no guy, stepping in the middle or anything like that. But anyway, so yeah, Lady Bird was pretty decent. It's a coming of age story. It stars this girl now that her name slips my mind, but I've seen her in a bunch of other
Lady
places.
Bird.
Yes, stars Lady Bird.
She wants to be known as Lady Bird.
She she does.
Yeah.
It was pretty decent. I don't know how you guys felt about it. It's definitely
I liked it. This is. Hey, we're not talking about a Hollywood movie flick here. We're not talking about this is.
Oh yeah, that's what you're saying.
This is super indie. Super. There's not gonna be explosions or anything like that, guys.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just saying it because it is. We normally don't discuss this type of movies because I'm not into those frou movies, as I call them.
What?
And
I so hate that.
I like them.
Get out.
I like Lady Bird. I thought that was a good
but
movie.
it's a coming of age. It's not a chick flick. It's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not
Because
a
everyone's trying,
wrong.
when we got there, everyone was trying to say, "Oh, it's a chick flick." I'm like,
God,
this
yeah,
is
that was
not.
This is not a chick
This
flick,
is an
guys.
indie movie.
Yes,
There you go.
an
Also-
independent film.
Independent
Also,
film.
it's-
Wait. There's independent film and then there are indie films, right?
It's the same thing.
Is
Same
it?
thing.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought the independent films were low budget for real, and indie films were high budget. They use high budget to make it look low budget. I thought that was the difference.
No.
That's what I heard.
No,
Who
they're the
told you
same
this?
thing.
I
They
don't,
lie.
I'll find it on YouTube.
Okay, very good.
Wow. But it was a good coming of age movie because I've seen some that were absolutely terrible. Mm-hmm. But this
Yeah,
this
they're
one was a
harsh
good one,
watching.
and it was surprisingly funny.
Yes, very humorous. I laughed at a good amount of portions there.
Yep.
It's really good. The director is new. She's done She's actually an actress, and she's young. She's not even that old, and she not that you have to be old to be a director, but you know what I mean. They generally tend to be older. Greta Gerwig, and she's I think she did a great job.
Yeah.
I'd give it, if I might personally, I'd give it a 7, mostly because, and that's still good, but it's mostly because I'm like, it's in the end, it's a girl, and there's only so much I can relate to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That said, there were some portions of the father that kind of related to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that's gonna be me. But yeah, so it's pretty good. I enjoyed it, and that's. Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought her because I was thinking of what I've been doing this week, and I almost forgot about that movie. I wouldn't have mentioned it. I did play some games. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So.
By the way, I recommend Lady Bird. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, give it
I definitely recommend
8. Solid 8. It gets from me, and I'm not into those type of movies for the most part. You don't have to rate it. We just
Do you recommend it or not?
Yeah.
No, I give it an 8 too.
There you go. All right. So Lady Bird approved. GG approval. Another one. So, man, Zelda. So that game, I think you could have too much of a game. So it's getting difficult. It's getting harder and harder to keep my interest. I have a gaming ADD. I told you about it. Yes. I'm having fun. It's still a great game. It's still a game that I would recommend, especially if Zelda fans. I mean, this is probably the second best Zelda, ever. But the thing is, it's so abstract in a lot of things. It doesn't tell you. It gives you a mission, but it doesn't give you waypoints, which is good. Some might say, "Hey, this is use your head or think or explore. Just figure things out." The problem is that I don't have that much time. I just want to see the game through. So when I go in and you show me, this mission is going to be on this location, and I go to the waypoint, and I talk to the person I need to, to the quest giver or whatever, and then you don't tell me the next, the next place where I need to go. It's difficult. Like my quest log is filled with quests that I haven't been able to start because it's like, okay, I don't know how to start this or where. I realized that if I put a little bit, if I wasn't worried, about the other games that I want to play, I would probably not care. But for me, like I already want to start playing, which I think I still have a shrink wrap, Xenoblade, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, whatever. And I can't because it's like that's another RPG I don't want to get into. This is that one at least is more traditional. That one will tell you where to go and what to do, and you'll see the story through. That's another thing. For the little, that's not to say that Zelda doesn't have a story. It's just it's very little and it's very simple. So it relies on the gameplay. So if you're having fun with the gameplay, great. I was having super fun, discovering 3 or 4 shrines a day, almost. But when they started getting harder and harder to find, or harder and harder to solve, that's when it was giving me that Dark Souls feels of like, okay, now this is getting a little too hard for me. I know that I can keep playing and banging my head on it, or I could be playing something else. So every now and then, I think I'm gonna continue that game, but I'm gonna take it in short strides. I'm gonna, you saw me playing Doom, because I went back because after how peaceful it felt to play Zelda, because that's another thing. You don't feel like a badass in Zelda at all. It's for some reason, at least not yet. So I'm constantly avoiding and hiding. And sometimes I just want to shoot things up. So
so just blow shit up.
So blow shit up, exactly. So I was playing. That, and I'm trying to remember. It was that. Oh, and the Frozen Wilds also.
You went back?
Yeah. Okay. I went back to the Frozen Wild because that game is great. Obviously, we already talked about that.
That game, you are a badass in that game.
You are a badass in that. Yeah,
it's still challenging, but you still feel badass.
Yes, exactly. And it is good challenging. Not impossible odds. Like I think I posted, hey, if there was no other game to play at all, then Zelda would be a great game to spend 2 months on. I am watching, and I am at the very tail end of Breaking Bad. Ladies
It's
and
about
gentlemen,
damn time.
ladies and gentlemen,
Finally.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now that if you are a so-called TV enthusiast and you like to watch all the stuff on Netflix and all the shows and you have those services and you consume them and you have yet to see Breaking Bad, that you are nothing and you deserve nothing.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
And
I mean, that's a bit harsh considering a lot of
Breaking
people
Bad has to
including
be,
me.
and mind you, this is what
She hasn't seen enough.
But do you watch? I mean, do you binge on all the shows or?
I barely watch TV.
Yeah, me neither. So I'm on that camp. So if I'm gonna watch TV, if I'm gonna spend time watching TV, I'm gonna spend it on the best. So I did Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones was great. And it got to the point where I didn't want to watch anymore. But that's fine. I will not say Game of Thrones was bad. Game of Thrones is fantastic.
I think that's probably the only show I would literally actively binge watch on.
Game of Thrones
without an issue.
You have to give a chance to Breaking Bad. I'll tell you why.
I know it's good.
It starts slow. I give you that. Yes, it does start slow. But it is super interesting. You love the acting of every freaking character on that game. I loved everyone, even
there's no bad.
even the
small guys.
Jesse's
his boys.
his boys. Yeah. Even them. You just. Man,
Skinny Pete and I can't remember the other guy.
Badger.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah. So even those guys that are tertiary to the story, you don't see them often, but
when they're there, they make use of their time.
Oh man, they're so good. Everybody acts so good, and the drama on that game, I was gonna say, on that series is so intense that yesterday I went to bed after watching 4 episodes back to back. That to me that's a lot because I don't binge. 2
at the most,
yeah. 2 episodes at most, and I'm happy with that. I went to bed so tense that I woke up this morning uncomfortable. I had a back pain, my neck was hurting, and it's because I went to sleep immediately after that. I'm like two episodes away from finishing it.
You had to just take a walk before you.
That's it. Oh yes, because my wife will watch the whole thing if you let her. So I'm like, no, honey, you need to get time to digest this. You need to.
Reflect, yeah.
To reflect on what happened, because what's happening on each episode is huge. It's
Each one is a megaton.
It's almost everyone is a freaking cliffhanger that is like whoa. So that's right there is the mark of a good show, and of course it's gonna have their episodes here and there where they go slow or to the motions, or they just want to expose things to get you ready for. Like the big whatever, I feel every season has, every season premiere, obviously takes over from where the season finale, the previous season finale left, and resolves that, and then it kind of goes into a lull on the next 2-3 episodes while it sets you up for okay, well now in this season is gonna be about this or this else thing or whatever, and so. And it follows that. It doesn't deviate from that. That said, what's his name? Heisenberg's the actor.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. He does a superb job of portraying that character to the point where I felt everything with him. I felt his pain. I felt his anger. I felt his joy. Again, the mark of a good show. You could completely relate, even though I have nothing to do with the creation of meth or anything like that.
Yeah, we do
in
not
this
condone
life, I don't know.
either,
I don't know if I've done it in a previous life. I've never dealt with it, but still, it's a way of reflecting his struggle on yourself. It's I can't say more good things about it. You, Mad Dog, said this is your favorite show. Would you say of all time?
Yeah,
Of
I still
other
think it's
shows?
better than Game. And again, not to take away from Game of Thrones.
Not to
Game of
take
Thrones
away
is
from
great,
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
but
no.
this one here, there is a level of obviously it's based in the real world, and everything looks and acts and feels the way it should. No one is how should I say? No one is. It's like Game of Thrones. Says no one's safe. Things happen, and you don't think they normally would, and it'll take you. Dude, I told you the worst part of this show is when you start your next show and maybe the one after that, the bar has already been set.
Yeah.
And now you're like, no, this is not good. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And the next one goes, no, the hell with this one. This is no good. And the problem is the bar's already been set. It's already up here, and you're like, nothing's going to come to that. So the next few shows, unfortunately, that you start, you're not gonna. You're gonna be a little disappointed. This is not Heisenberg material.
No, exactly. and what is? There's another show that we're gonna start watching at some point that is meant to be like a spin-off from this, but it might be a hard spin-off. What I mean is like it might not be super related to the events of what's happening here. As a matter of fact, I understand it's a prequel to whatever are the events of what's happening here. So, and with again, just taking a character that you wouldn't think much on the main series and spinning his character into his own. Yeah. So that will be cool. I think I heard good things about it, but I don't expect it to ever be the level of. Man, what the hell?
Yeah, that
of this
mini,
one is
that,
legendary.
The other show it got some big shoes to fill.
I would say so. So if you don't watch, so this is perfect for you, Shadow. If you don't watch TV, but you have already heard good things about this, it's a good time to pick it up. You know, again, give it a chance.
I have it on my list, but good luck on me watching it anytime soon.
I will jump it on the queue. I would say. I don't know. Would you agree?
I would, but I mean, that's because I've already seen it. Beforehand, I've been told about it. Then this is the whole deal. I've been told about it before. Oh, it's unbelievable, blah, 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 blah. I didn't get into it until it was, I think it was a couple years after it was done.
Yeah.
So, and the beauty of it, too, is only 5 seasons. So it's a nice, tight story.
They don't drag it.
Yeah.
They don't drag it.
But it took me a little bit to do it too, so I don't blame any hesitation. It's just like, oh well, especially if you already have stuff in mind that you really, really want to get to.
Yeah.
So I hear you. But at some point, at any point, if you don't have anything, just throw on the first one. The first one had me hooked. You know what I mean? So it was like, whoa, this is whoa.
Actually, if you're deciding about what to do next, put it on front of the list. I will say this gets the GG's Platinum recommendation, Diamond recommendation, Elite recommendation, seal of approval. Yes. The highest honors.
It's the truth. Miss Shadow, what you been up to?
Well, I finally finished
Founded love of the lifetime.
Dragon Age.
Oh,
Inquisition?
Inquisition.
Holy
Finished
crap.
the story today.
Okay.
What do you think?
Best
liked
one
it.
ever?
Well,
Best one.
it's the first one I played, so I can't really.
Okay, best
compare.
BioWare game then? Just trying to hype it up, guys. Just trying to hype it up.
I know we're kind of low key. What's happening today? It's not Friday. I get that,
Yeah,
but
it's not
come
Friday.
on, people already know that because we said it a couple times. But this is still going on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, we if you're listening on Saturday, yes, we saw Star Wars already.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess that it was probably great. I don't know.
I'm going to be on the fence.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So we'll talk about it later.
Yes, definitely. I'm sorry,
you
Shadow.
you gotta go in with the open mind.
Yes.
So I was just sad that it had to end.
Yeah, I mean, how many
Yeah.
hours? It's been a long time, no?
while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was sad that it ended. Yeah, I played a little bit of
remember
Overwatch because the new event came out.
Oh, the winter?
Yeah, I don't
Winter
know.
Olymp? Is it winter? Right?
Yeah, the Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
I do-
Wonderland. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do love the skins though. They really outdid themselves this time.
Oh, they're new.
Around.
Do they bring back the old ones?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
So at
You
least
can get
I have
them
a
at
chance to
half
get 'em, yeah.
price, but they've really outdid themselves this time.
What do you mean you can get them at half price? Like you can just buy them, like
With
the actual
coins.
skins?
With coins.
Oh,
Yeah, with coins.
interesting.
Usually the old skins are like half price.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they, because I always thought that the only way you can get them was through the boxes themselves.
No, you can get it through coins that you get from the boxes. But,
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
gotcha. Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeti Hunt is a little weird. I still do like May Snowball offensive a lot more.
So Yeti Hunt is
That's
it
the
kind
one
of
where-
like Horde mode?
No,
No.
it's like the what's that other?
Oh,
one?
they evolve.
The evolve. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you're playing as Winston the Yeti, you have to try and find like little areas that spawn meat.
Okay.
Yeah. So because if you get 4 meat, he rages and 2 shots the maze. So the maze got 5 lives.
Oh,
And all
okay.
lives are gone. They lose. He wins. If you kill him, you win. And their ults are not their blizzard. It's a trap, like a big Junkrat trap.
Oh my god. Okay.
So it was a little interesting at first, but I don't think I'm going to be playing it much, honestly.
I hear you. A lot of people are falling off Overwatch. Is this true?
I
a degree,
haven't heard
yes.
any.
Oh,
To a
okay.
degree,
Yeah.
because it's the toxicity that the game's been having a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's why a lot of people are like, ugh.
Remember when that game came out? It was
And-
it was one of those games that it felt good to play because
And
I guess the
also-
toxicity hadn't reached him yet.
And also the whole report system, because there are even players who are getting reported for no reason whatsoever, just from auto-clicking a hero.
Oh, then Blizzard, you gotta fix that shit then.
It's hard, though, when people will lie on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you have to? Can you
But there's
replay
gotta
the tape?
Be, there's gotta be. Well, Blizzard ought to have some sort of system to verify their
I'm
behaviors.
sure, but it's hard when you're having a whole bunch of people reporting one person for nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
makes
still need to be investigated just to avoid these cases. Because if not, then I can completely understand. I mean, if this game is gonna become as toxic to play as like Dota and to some extent even Call of Duty,
I hope
then I want
not,
nothing to do with it.
Honestly, because like I do like the game.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game, but its player base is what keeps me from playing it too much.
Too often.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about,
Gilberto mentioned that. I remember that.
how about if we institute the death penalty to online harassers? Would that be too much?
You know,
Maybe a
I've
hair.
heard that.
Maybe a hair?
Maybe a hair too much.
That's
I've
what I
heard
mean.
that Blizzard also has their own like hit team that they put in for anyone who's toxic.
Oh my God! They send a hitman.
If I
That's awesome.
not like that in
They have my-
game
they have
they
my
have a
game.
team that will
Does it kill the character or just pulls them out?
no like
You
know how the way Overwatch works. So they, from what I've heard, they'll bring in a team if the other players are bad enough, just to bring them down, give them a taste of what.
Oh
They've been
wow!
dealing
Oh, I see what you're saying. To come and whoop some ass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It could
That's
be
good.
true, it could be not, but it's what I've heard. And lastly, I've been watching a Netflix original called Godless.
Oh, I've heard about this one. How is it?
To me, it's a little slow. It's been a little slow. I've only
How many
maybe
episodes?
2.5 episodes because they're not like 50 minutes. No, they're an hour long, like literally an hour long
Oh, wow.
episode. So it takes some time to sit and grasp it all.
I gotcha.
It's like as almost long as a movie every episode.
And this is based on it's like a western. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, it looks actually pretty tight.
Yeah,
I don't
haven't
know the
seen
actors, though.
I haven't seen much action in it. It's mostly a lot of trying to get story based. Because
Oh.
from what I got, it's some person on the run,
Mm-hmm.
and who they're running from is trying to catch them.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, from like the big synopsis of it, that's what I got from
How
it.
many episodes you in?
I think my third one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Today.
It's not. I'm looking at it here, and it's only 7 episodes long, so that's actually
But they're
not too bad.
hour long
Yeah,
episodes,
yeah.
so they get a lot in an hour.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you could just keep the story or the episode length you know what I mean, the season length.
Oh, yeah, no.
To what the story requires. I think it can. That's good stuff, man.
I love your description though. You said is a person is running from someone, and this person that they're running from, they're trying to catch him. All right. Yes. I'm into the series
without
already.
trying to ruin it.
Yeah, ruin
Like
it.
it's not a bad show. It's just it's a little slow.
It's a little slow
at
start.
first.
It's setting up the groundwork. I hear you. Hey guys, we're back. I'm going to go right into some news items for today.
The news,
sir. I believe you have the first piece, major wow moment for the day.
There were a couple of major points on
Yes.
the day, but I'm going to bring this one because I feel like a lot of people don't understand the repercussions of net neutrality, and there's also the other camp where they think, well, this net neutrality has been repealed, we're screwed. And then there's the third camp that is saying, what the hell is net neutrality? What does that even mean? You know, how do I know what camp I sit on
when I don't even know
what it means? So just to clarify, the point of net neutrality was simple. It was the internet as it stands right now, the internet, the way it works as you know it, working equally for everybody. And what I mean by that is it being treated kind of like a utility, where
like lights,
yeah. You know, you normally, hey, you get water, you pay for water, but you can use it however you like. You know, you don't get, the water company doesn't charge you, hey, you have water, but if you want to have drinking water,
300 gallons of water to use for the month, and for every gallon additional, and
if you want drinking water, you have to pay $10 a month extra, and if you want to wash your car, it is 50 months. So that's what I mean by saying a utility.
Think of microtransactions, but for your internet.
Well,
another way of looking at it.
To keep it simple is just the internet as you know it. You pay for a service and you get access to everything that is not already paywalled, right? There is no preference. So what does the repeal means? Because the FCC voted today. Sadly, it was a decision made by 5 people. And
to speak for the whole
country.
For the whole country, 5 people, most of them that have the corporate interest in their minds, because this is something that most corporations like Comcast, like T-Mobile, like AT&T, and those companies, among others, wanted to see gone because it benefits them. I'll tell you how.
It can benefit them.
It will.
No, I'm saying
that's the thing.
All right, but
otherwise they wouldn't have voted.
True, but we have to go with the information given. According to them, they don't plan to do anything. There's no plans to do anything as far as what I mean by they can is they can do it. They say they won't. They can. Yeah.
It'll be as much as trusting EA.
Correct. At that point, Oh no, don't get me wrong. Yes.
So the FCC voted to put some rules in place to keep the internet, to no longer continue net neutrality. So those rules that prevented services from playing favorites with other companies. Like, say, for example, speeding up, like, say, Comcast, for example. They have their streaming service, right? And then there's Netflix. But, hey, Comcast now have the power, they might say they're not going to do it, but they have the power to throttle down Netflix and all the competing services so that they can get their shit first place. They get their business. And same thing with T-Mobile and all those.
I have here the basic rules that were prohibited under the Net Neutrality Act. First is blocking. So internet service providers could not discriminate against any lawful content by blocking website or apps.
Yes.
Okay? The second one is throttling. Service providers could not slow down the transmission of data based on the nature of the content as long as it was legal. And third, paid prioritization, meaning service providers could not create an internet fast lane for companies and consumers who paid additional premiums and a slow lane for those who don't.
Yeah.
So those are the three major pillars of what it was originally put in, keeping it neutral, basically prohibited these acts.
Yeah, like we have it today. But of course, as you know, corporations are gonna corporate, and they're gonna try. They're gonna try to take us for all our money. So of course,
That should be a slogan
the
for
administration,
when they're screwing us over.
which happens all the time. The current administration, which is very corporate friendly, has allowed basically the opportunity for these companies who, again, they say they won't, but as you have seen many times and many times again, corporations are gonna corporate, and they're gonna copulate with our wallets. I don't want to make it worse. I'm gonna stop. Eventually, this is a slippery slope. Eventually, we could have situations where, yes, if you want. All those jokes about, if you want to continue watching your Facebook, it's going to be $5 a month. Well, it's not going to be literal like that, because obviously that's an extreme just to deliver a message. However, it is very possible that you no longer have the pings or of the speed necessary to play your online games, for example, because you're not paying them the high bandwidth version, which is... This is not to confuse it with internet speeds. This is whatever speed you have now could get tiered into
adjusted.
Adjusted. So it's okay. You have the highest amount of bandwidth if you want to watch movies, but if you want to play some games, that's an extra cost. Or if you want to do these activities, or hey, no, you know what? We don't like this website, what they're talking about, we're going to block it, we're going to censor it. Censorship, internet censorship, that is now a that could now be a possibility. So does this mean, is the repeal set in stone? No, not really. It could still be overturned in court or by Congress. And there are actually some Democratic senators that are already working. And I heard actually recently when we were on break that there's even states that are
pursuing
pursuing lawsuits on that. So, but understand that net neutrality pretty much creates the internet for the most powerful and the elite, basically. Let's put it that way. It can. So that's a problem. There's a lot more in-depth analysis, and I encourage you to read on it, be informed, be mindful of the sources you're getting the information. This is not a political podcast, so this is not, we can't say, there might be things here that we're interpreting this just as most of you guys are interpreting it, And it's very mentioned because, of course, we depend on the internet. Not only our shows, not only our show, but our hobby. It's very internet dependent. And it's hard enough already where some places they have to deal with like data caps and bad internet, and the United States being probably one of the worst countries as far as the internet infrastructure, which is hilarious because I heard he was born here, and somehow we are like one of the worst countries in the world when it comes to internet infrastructure, And on top of that, we get this deals that favors nobody but the corporations, no consumers at all. And if you try to drink the Kool-Aid propaganda that this is about internet freedom, sir, you might want to take a whole long, hard look at the decisions of your life, probably.
I think you want to look at what freedom means.
Because if anything, this is actually taking more freedoms away that you get, that you're imagining.
Potentially taking more freedoms away.
I mean, we can give everyone a history.
I know what you're saying.
You are taking away net neutrality. Net neutrality was the freedom.
Correct,
if you're repealing it, you are taking that away.
Correct.
If you're saying
plain devil's advocate, though.
No.
Okay. Plain devil's advocate. If for whatever reason they stick to exactly what they say, they're not going to do nothing.
Sir,
we're back. We're still where we are now.
That is.
I get it.
That is the level of.
It's a pie in the sky. I understand that, but you have to look at
that
it.
That is a daycare run by child molesters, basically. What you're saying is that we should be trusting these companies when you have seen time and again what they companies do.
That is not what I said.
Okay.
I did not say I would trust it.
I know you're playing devil's advocate and you want to say and you want to be neutral, but
no, I'm not trying to be neutral. I'm simply stating they can until they do. Yes, chances are that if given the opportunity, they will. And whatever. But until they do. They haven't done anything yet.
You said it yourself.
Yeah.
Given the opportunity, they will.
True.
You just this is the opportunity.
Correct. So they have the potential to do. I'm still gonna say it because it's the truth.
It hasn't happened. All right. That's what.
It can happen though. And considering it may happen, you know what I mean. But it hasn't happened yet.
Let's be real.
And potentially, this can lead to that.
Have the majority of the U.S. after them.
Yeah.
They want their heads.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that. Yes. On a happier note.
Oh, yes. Well, let me go right into my news piece. On a happier note, this weekend was PSX. And believe it or not, Georgie's in the home. I forgot how that song goes. Anyway, believe it or not much actually happened. PSX, unless you were there.
On PSX. I was gonna say, there's still another piece of huge news that we have on the back burner. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
So I'm just going to go through some of the wrap up from what was brought up through the PSX. First and foremost, Wipeout Omega Collection is getting a VR mode early 2018, and this is just in time for you to lose weight because you're going to be throwing up the entire time while you're playing this game. On the same VR news, for whatever reason, The Last Guardian is also getting some sort of VR capability.
It's out already.
Oh, and it looks not good.
It is. Well, it's a demo.
Oh, it's a demo.
It's basically, it's a tech demo.
So that's all it is?
Yeah,
really?
it's not like it's not.
Trico looks like malnourished.
Deleting this news piece right here. I don't.
Someone said
report on tech.
Someone said that Trico looked better on VR.
He looked malnourished. I felt bad.
I hate that design.
I felt bad.
I always hate the design of that bird.
Forget about Trico. That's apparently a tech demo. I didn't know that. Forget about that.
You gotta blame the PSX for not explaining much.
Yes. The new God of War. They didn't really show much new or anything like that, but they did mention something kind of interesting, which I feel like we need to bring up. Apparently, the director, Cory Barlog, noted that the game will be around 35 to 40 hours long.
Oh, my God. So this is the Frozen Water. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn level
goodness.
Open world. Is that what we want, though?
I don't know if it's open world. It looks corridor-ish.
But
we haven't seen anything open yet.
It looked open to me.
Open world to me, yeah.
It was the way the camera was set. It could not be. It could just be really like immersive with story.
I looked at it as, think of Last of Us. Last of Us is not open world, but you have some open areas.
It's linear.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's
I can
what
see
it
that.
looked like to me.
I can see that. However, Last of Us is not 40 hours.
No, it's not.
No. I can't imagine this being like
the first time
2 games of just that. Usually, I hear 40 hours. There's an open world element to it.
There has to be some sort of RPG element.
And to be honest, that's what most things are going now for some reason.
Is that what we want from God of War, though?
I don't want. Not necessarily. Well, I'm not looking for that. However, if it's delivered well, like I don't know. I think they did I think. Naughty Dog, for example, they did a pretty good job opening the world a little bit on Uncharted. I'll be willing to give it a chance. you know. But if I'm gonna be collecting shit all over the map and having to open the map to be I don't want that. I don't want that.
No, because God of War was nothing like that.
No, it wasn't, yeah.
Then
That's a
again,
strange
this
route.
Kratos doesn't look anything like the Kratos of those.
It's Norse mythology.
Yeah.
That's what he's in.
Is that what it is?
So
It is.
is this the same Kratos or is
It
this
is the
like
same
an imagine?
Kratos.
My understanding is, Kratos. I mean, my understanding says, I don't think you think it's a reboot. I don't think it's a reboot.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
think
asking.
no. I don't think it's a reboot.
Because it's like, oh well, this is Norse mythology. Okay,
Why would it be-
so we can jump from mythologies to mythology.
But
So
why would
at one
it
point
be
there's gonna be
a reboot when he was originally Greek mythology?
it was Greek
That
mythology.
that makes
yeah.
no sense if it was a reboot.
No, what I'm saying is, well, first
It will
off,
be because
It will not.
Greek-
it's a reboot. So if it's in Norse mythology, it makes sense that they will start
No,
a
but-
different type of character.
but here's
How many times have you seen it with Tomb Raider?
So here's the
But
deal.
it's still the same story.
First off, the Greek.
Yeah,
literally the
exactly.
same story.
It'll still be a same story of a a god or whatever. It's gonna be different, but why would it not work?
So what you're saying is that Greek mythology
These are two
is
different
a
mythologies.
universe, not just things that happen over
That,
Greece
that's,
area.
that's the way that's the way that I'm seeing it.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way that
here.
I'm seeing it. But
I
I don't understand this. Why would it not be?
No, I
why
had
would it
a
not be
friend
possible to make
actually
it
make a good
first-
theory that remember how the last God of War ended? Mm-hmm. So they were saying that the way that ended, why not have him move, down to where the Norse mythology is to get away from that?
Well, the way it ended, there is no Greek mythology left. So
Yeah,
I mean,
right,
yeah,
exactly.
it's just
I-
there was
So that's
nothing
what I'm
else to
saying.
go back to. Yeah,
So I'm thinking like, okay, so this is gonna
I
be
still don't think it's
jumping
a reboot though.
mythology. No, I'm not saying it is. To clarify, I'm not saying
just
it is.
said-
I'm saying no. I didn't say it was. It was a reboot. I said that this would have worked better as,
As a
a
reboot?
reboot. Yeah, because it ends the mythology, the Greek mythology, and now it's like a new beginning with the Norse mythology. You can still use the same character because they did that with. I mean, they've done that in games many times, and you see, Tomb Raider is a perfect example. How many Lara Croft versions have we seen, and of each universe? So I don't understand why would it not work.
But there's the
reason
world that
with
she lives in
her
is
is
still
still the
the same world. So I mean, I see what you mean.
I don't
but it's-
understand
because
the
it's still
same world?
Yes, it's still the same
because
real
the same,
world.
because it's on Earth.
Correct.
But
Pretty much.
but it's a
I mean, it's
the
not like she went from
difference-
Catholic to something else. You know what I'm saying?
But the difference, though, is that Greek and Norse mythology are actually completely different things.
I know.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
If they're completely different, then that's to my point that it should
almost,
be a reboot.
You're saying is it's almost as they can't
Not only
exist at
that,
the same time.
With
Yeah, that's what I'm
him,
saying. It's like
How can you have Zeus and
when
and,
they
what's his
did
name?
that's my point.
What's
when they
Thor's father's
actually
name?
did exist
Odin.
at the same time.
Well, they didn't exist. They're
Well, they're mythologists. First of all, let's
Do I
clarify.
have
They're
to give
mythologists.
you?
What happened
Do
is-
I have to give you a lesson on that? Do not make me do that.
they did exist at the same time in the fact that you had two different groups of people who believed in this.
I know, but
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is if you're trying to say basically if there's a god of Zeus who leads all the gods, how can there also be Odin who also leads
yeah,
the gods? I understand what you mean.
I
Yeah,
understand
what you mean.
that the religions existed. The mythologies existed at the same time, but I don't think Zeus was recognizing, that god from this other mythology. Fuck him.
Still-
I don't think that was the worlds were not interchangeable.
Can we stop with this before I give you a lesson?
Please do, because I need to know why is it that it would not work as a reboot. That's the most important. And besides, this show could use a little bit of liveliness.
Okay, the biggest thing is that why would he have a son?
Why would he have a son?
He had a
Why
son
would he-
before though.
Who he killed, one.
Yeah,
And
with
this
the wife,
one,
yeah.
he's trying to actually control his anger.
Oh no, that proves that it's a reboot.
I
get that. Yeah.
No, that
Yeah,
proves
yeah.
that it's not a reboot. I know, I get that. That makes perfect sense. What the message that I'm trying to give you guys is that why would it not work as a reboot if we're talking about two different mythologies? There's no reason why we have to tie this Kratos to this other Kratos. And you guys saying,
Because you
well,
want to know
the pro-
why?
the
I'm
pro-
tired of reboots.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, well, that's not a reason.
No, but
That is a very valid reason,
But-
actually.
No.
what I'm trying to say is you have Kratos
Uh-huh.
who he has the his skin, right?
Uh-huh.
The ash he's wearing
Yeah.
the ashes of, so that alone says, okay, so the other one had to have happened because he's wearing the
Because
same
he's wearing
ashes.
it. Yeah, right.
So I see what you're saying,
Yeah,
that why
yeah.
can't it just be a reboot? But I think it's pretty clear that it's meant to be.
Yeah, it's meant to be a continuation. Of course,
yeah,
of course. And,
So-
and I get it, And eventually I'm thinking at some point when this trilogy comes out, because of course it's going to be a trilogy. No, actually it's going to be
God,
like
you think
4
so?
episodes. Of course. Of course they're going to milk it. Eventually they're going to go into the Judeo-Christian religion and mythology. If you
at
want to
that
call it that.
point- at that
I don't believe
point-
it's a mythology, but I'm just saying.
No, at that point, you got to leave it to Alexander the Great.
Well, yeah.
That'd be great. Then
yeah.
we have the Huns.
No, because see, Kratos will be the Alexander the Great actually in this case, because
That
he will
means-
he will go from religion to religion to religion.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's possible.
I can see it.
Yeah, but then that'd be like Assassin's Creed all over again.
Yes.
Yes.
I look
no.
forward to the God of War in ancient Japan.
There you go. That's what. Yeah, a Buddhist devil god of Buddhist god of war.
All right, so moving on. So another announcement was Mega Man will be in Monster Hunter World.
Oh yeah, I saw
apparently,
that,
yes.
and that looked
A little bit
silly.
Yeah.
I looked ridiculous, but I would rather have the Mega Man than a stupid talking cat, which was like
It's a palico.
I didn't see the talking cat.
I kept calling it a calico, but it's a palico.
Palico, P, yeah, with a P.
But weren't they talking cats?
It could be. I mean, a calico is a cat.
Sort
this one's,
of.
This
I think
one's.
they make noises though. I don't think they really talk. If I
Oh.
remember, I don't really.
Do they do
trying
the
to
gibberish?
remember. Maybe.
And that's like their language.
I don't remember much from the
They're not
animal.
Sims.
No.
Does that sound like a sim? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, apparently Mega Man
I don't know.
will be talking gibberish.
The design was kind of goofy because it was going for that
The 8-bit
pixelated look.
3D. I still want to get the game though.
Oh yeah, no, don't doubt. I want to get it in.
know
I want to
I've-
get the Mega Man, or and I might be the part of the problem. But if it means I don't have to talk to a stupid cat, I will pay the DLC for the Mega Man.
Do you think the Mega Man's
so
not going to sound the
I
same?
know I've
Oh, yeah.
said this
There
many
has to be
times
some sort of bonus.
before because I fell out of the game through handheld. But if I have it on the console that I enjoy playing on, I won't be falling out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I tried a little bit.
Did
by the
anybody
way,
play
I didn't-
them? Oh,
yeah, I was
yeah.
going to say I didn't mention.
Yeah,
I
I
just
played
remembered now. I played.
It's all right.
Just
Perfect
the
time.
first missions, like the single player mission, and it was okay. I don't know if it was the character I had, their build, or the weapon, but it was a little sluggish, and I think it's just
Yeah,
because she was
it is
like,
very
Yeah.
like Dark Soulish
the
in the
weapon.
way
oh man,
you're kind of
Also,
locked to the
since the game
the
doesn't
movement you do.
tell you, your weapon can break and it does less damage. That's why you have the whetstones to keep its sharpness up.
great. So this is like Zelda.
No, nothing is
I'm
like
kidding.
Zelda.
I'm kidding. It's a
No.
joke.
Yeah.
But it is like what is it? Witcher, because the Witcher also had that.
Yeah, Dark Souls
It's a
has
lot of,
weapon durability. The
Did
first
it?
one I remember having
don't
weapon
remember.
durability. I might
Bloodborne
be
has
wrong.
it though. Bloodborne definitely has
Bloodborne. There you go.
the
Okay.
durability.
So yeah,
not a
look
bad
forward to
game,
that. Apparently, he's not coming until 2018. Even the game will be out sooner. But of course, it's all meant to tie together with the 30-year anniversary of Mega Man. And then, of course, Sean Layden wore another shirt to get everybody excited about another
About nothing.
remake, reboot. And
Oh?
this time it was Medieval is getting remastered for the
Oh my
That
PS4.
some of us didn't even know about it.
That is
PlayStation 1
yeah,
title.
PlayStation 1 title
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I don't think we never had that game.
Me
I
either.
didn't have. I saw
So
it.
that's
I
why I
know of
never
it,
knew
yeah.
about
Yeah,
it.
I saw it, but I heard good things. I heard it was like a good B tier game. So I feel like this is Sony because lately they have been going back to like the old games, and like
it's been working.
they-
Ratchet and Clank was the first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, whether you like it or not, still
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
lot of moves.
They brought Loco Roco and Patapon and stuff like that. But I feel like going to Medieval, it feels like they're kind of running out of titles.
That's
to
a
bring
shameful
up.
part because there's so many other titles that they can really choose.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been my choice specifically, but maybe there's a maybe there's a lot of people out there that can't wait to see Sir Daniel again.
Yeah.
Finally, the last piece that came again through the whole PSX, Overkill's The Walking Dead. The Watching Dead. You hear me? The Walking Dead is coming out next
That's
fall.
what we call the people that still watching The Walking Dead.
They are Watching Dead.
Yeah.
And the first survivor apparently is Aiden. There is a trailer out. I don't know. You guys just saw it recently. I've seen it before. If you don't know what Overkill's The Walking Dead is, it is a 4-player. Essentially, what's that Left 4 Dead type of thing? Essentially, in the world of The Walking Dead.
That came out from the Sony.
There was a trailer that was shown over the weekend on the Sony. It wasn't at that.
It wasn't at the.
But it was over the weekend. Of the
keynote
event, yeah.
or whatever they said that they had. That wasn't really a keynote, wasn't it?
No, it was. A lot of people were calling it like an on-stage podcast.
Like an on-stage podcast. This is what the PC.
It was.
You know what? This is what the E3 PC show does, where it's like they just sitting on
that
chairs.
Was the first year
crap.
though.
Yeah.
This summer was actually not bad.
Really?
I don't recall it.
Because the first one, all
You
right.
had
So
it
Sony
playing
did
for a
that.
bit, and they actually made it better because they realized nobody liked the little talk show, so they made it like vibrant and.
Apparently, Sony hasn't gotten the memo.
Evidently, no.
Yeah. But then again, they did had a lot to show on the last Paris.
Yes, the final game that they showed, which was freaking awesome, and I was like, okay, now I am all on board, and that's Detroit Become Human.
That was
And
great.
I think because they
game.
actually showed gameplay of the trailer that we saw.
Yeah.
Like a
Well,
good
the first
amount of it, too.
trailer, if
Correct.
no one knows.
That is
And
my most anticipated game.
That was great.
I gotta
Like,
say.
I didn't know it would be that so interactive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It looked really, really good.
This game will kill Doomsday dead.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because
Okay,
he
this
does
is
not
not-
like games where
Yeah.
you have to make choices. Especially in this one where, hey, you can make some bad choices too. So
That's why you don't tell him. Just put the game in,
tell
give
him.
him
Put
the
the game in
control, and be
he's
like,
gonna
here,
know-
play this.
He's gonna notice.
He'll notice, but then
what is
he
this?
By
has
that time
no
it's too
choice
late.
but to play.
We'll tie them down to a chair and I don't
Tape his eyes open.
gotta play. Yes, I wow. So guess
Wow,
what, guys?
aren't we great?
Yeah, no, his ears are ringing somewhere.
You know that fantastic game that we've all been waiting for, that we're crazy about, called Star Citizen. You know how excited we are about Star Citizen.
Not
Oh.
The Scam Citizen makers
Oh wow.
are being sued
Now you're calling it by that? That should have been like a while ago.
by none other than Crytek. The engine makers basically they had an agreement at the beginning. Crytek was in financial trouble. They were not doing very good. So when I heard that Star Citizen was using Crytek for their game, which of course back when they announced it, it was a fantastic engine. But right now it's like kind of like this engine isn't superb, and you haven't demonstrated you have the chops yet to do something something good with it. I knew it was going to be problematic, but the thing is, I guess at some point they stopped using Crytek and they signed up with a fork of that Crytek engine that my understanding is that Crytek has sold to Amazon, and Amazon is using. It's basically Amazon have their own version of Crytek. I forget what it's called. Maybe you can find out find the name for it, because I'm forgetting. But the thing is,
But they're suing them for what then?
well, they're suing it for they're claiming breach of contract. They're claiming that they were using. You know how the Star Citizen the development has been very open as far as showing what they're doing. Well, they might have been showing a little too much, some proprietary things that they're not supposed to be showing on a very public YouTube show that they have, which is called Bug Smashers. So apparently that didn't jive very well with the Crytek guy. I mean, and then you mix that with the fact that Crytek is in financial trouble. They're not doing very well. Star Citizen has
So-
as of right now probably like
Question.
$171 million. You know, they're almost breaking on $200 million.
Question: Is there
makes it a juicy
anyone
target.
publishing Star Citizen, or it's just the company
It's them.
themselves?
The
Themselves,
idea, the idea is that they were doing it themselves. I fell in love
No
with the
wonder
idea.
it's been taking forever.
Well,
Is it a big team?
they're well now they are because they have like locations.
So they don't
everywhere. I mean,
actually
with that
have-
level of money.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't actually have 170 million. They got that money, and of
They
course
got that
it's-
money. Yeah,
it's
they
put
they,
into whatever
they,
they're
yeah,
gonna do.
they got that.
We hope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they
no
have to support
wonder-
that. You know that he. Yeah. Oh yeah. You. There is an argument to
I
make.
just had
to
to
that.
ask
The
because I don't know if they had a
publishers.
publisher or not.
The original
besides
pitch.
themselves.
The original pitch was, hey, we're not gonna use any publishers. We're gonna create this game of this dead genre. For yourself, and it's gonna be this and this and this. And the problem is, they start getting money. They start getting people excited. I got excited. I
was
participated.
interested, but then I saw how much they're in. I'm like, I'll put it down and I'll watch it from afar for now.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of that of that genre of space sims.
sims.
Yeah, which was dead. So of course I love the idea. I wanted to make it happen, and hey, why not? Chris Robert has given me some of the best games that I remember playing of my childhood. I said, okay, sure. You know, I believed in the dream. You know, but then that dream became bloated as they were getting more money and they were putting more features that were completely unnecessary, and they want to basically create like a megaverse, basically, like a player one, like a Ready Player One level universe where that is the world that you live in, basically, and it's completely off from what I wanted, which was, hey, give me a single player campaign with Mark Hamill again, which they haven't signed, believe it or not, and Martin McDowell, if you can, and just give me that single player and a little bit of multiplayer. Sure, that's fine, that's perfect. But no, they're doing this completely complex thing, trying to achieve with that aging engine stuff that is the engine's probably gonna be able to do. So, and they're taking forever to do so and asking for more money. See, the problem that I have is that they keep asking for a lot more, more money, selling a lot more stuff, selling you an incomplete title. And I have a big problem with that. At one point, I was like, nope, screw them. I'm not going to ask to get a refund, but there are people out there that are already, in court battles, to
If I
get a
remember,
refund.
wasn't it originally like free, and all you had to do was buy a pack, like a ship pack, in
What-
order to get a key to the game?
Well,
For
if you buy
Star
if you buy
Star
the,
Citizen.
the key, then it's not free.
But
So-
I mean, you can download the
client?
launcher.
Yeah,
the
you
launcher,
download-
and
yeah.
you just buy a
yeah,
ship pack.
because otherwise, if you didn't have a ship, you didn't have a game.
exactly.
Yeah, so you needed to pay at least, I think it was like at least $30.
Well- Yeah, well, yeah, they want you to have your ship for your game. If they just gave you the game, you wouldn't have a ship.
No, exactly. Oh, so anyway, so the thing is, Cloud Imperium, which is it definitely sounds like an evil game, like an evil corporation.
Where's Bowser when you need him?
Cloud Imperium, I know, right? They're saying, you know what? No, this is meritless. They don't have anything to stand on. We're obviously not using their logo anymore because we're not using their engine. We're using Amazon's engine, which is technically a Crytek engine. Lumberjack, that's the name of the engine of the Amazon fork. So yeah, a big carfuffle there. I don't know what there's gonna land, but I'm glad that they're actually someone is taking a stand. Yeah.
That's good.
So I don't know if you guys are really in the know, but we all know, and Nintendo wants to continue with their mobile business.
The mobile. Oh, hell yeah.
It's the mobile part, since
I'm surprised
everything's mobile now. Their
doesn't
console's
seem to be-
practically mobile.
Doesn't seem to be going very well for them on the phone market.
So
No?
they've if no one already knew, they already own 10% stake of Dina, which is a big mobile company that makes a lot of mobile games. And at this moment, they're working on 5 mobile games with them. most recent being Animal Crossing, since we all know.
Animal Crossing.
which I have and I play
Yes.
Are you still playing it?
occasionally.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That, some of their games are good, some are not. First, I like Fire Emblem.
Super Mario Run was kind of
It was okay.
Yeah, it was. It was okay.
Yeah, so Nintendo feels that doing the mobile business feels like they can release more games faster, and it gives them more time to have alignments with other partners that do the mobile business, and hopefully we'll see them more often.
Hopefully, I'm so far. I have Super Mario Run. I enjoyed it for what it was. I have Fire Emblem Heroes.
You have Mitomo too.
Had Mitomo originally, and Mitomo
That's
was
more of a
nothing
social,
though. It was like
that's a social stuff more than a game.
I did not even enjoy it. I was like, I had it. I made the stupid little me, and I was like, okay, this is what am I doing here?
Wow.
Yeah,
Saying
it's
hello.
more of a,
Hey, what are you
it's
doing?
a social space. It's not
And
even a game.
asking him questions so he can. I'm like, never mind. I don't even care what you have to say. So, but yeah, so that was okay. No, actually, that was not okay. But Mario Run was okay. Fire Emblem Heroes is pretty damn good.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's really good, dude.
One of my
and
favorites.
and I'm playing. Like I said, the Pocket
should
Camp is not
play
bad
it.
either. It's not bad either. But I
You
mean,
should play it.
yeah,
You think I
Fire
should
Emblem
play it?
Heroes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fire
you
Emblem?
should play it.
Yeah.
Have you played a Fire Emblem game at all?
I think I have. I don't
Where
remember.
it's turn-based?
Is that the one where you can like marry
Yes.
some character? Yeah,
And
I played a
permadeath?
little bit and permadeath. Yeah, okay, yes, I did play. Okay, so that's that game.
That's
All right,
why I
I'm
fell
downloading
in
it
love
then.
with the mobile game.
I played it.
bad.
I played it on
love the
DS.
mobile game.
I had it on DS.
Yes.
it is a mobile
gonna have
game. It is free to play. It does have.
Yeah, it's gonna have
your
Microsoft, but it's free to
so-
play. So,
But
But
understandable.
exactly, yeah.
it's
So-
fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Okay, all right.
the most fun out of the other ones.
All right. Okay.
I would
cool,
agree.
cool.
I definitely would agree with that.
All right.
I definitely agree. So Disney guys apparently have like really, 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 really deep pockets.
Oh my God!
because-
You're dropping the bomb. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna leave it for last.
No, the bomb is being dropped.
Okay,
Just like it was
all
dropped
right.
this morning when I woke up to this announcement that Disney has purchased a significant portion of 21st Century Fox. So yeah,
Snap.
this
So X-Men,
And Fantastic
X-Men
Four.
Cross, and Fantastic Four with Avengers. The wet dream of many
but
Marvel
we don't know.
fans.
We don't know
get,
that yet. So we don't
Don't
know.
we get Star Wars theme back
Deadpool and
too?
Spider-Man.
The what?
Don't we get a theme back too from that?
A
A
theme?
theme? Oh, like a
Oh,
park,
yeah, yeah.
like a theme
no,
park.
the theme.
Theme song.
Oh,
They
theme song?
own.
I couldn't-
21st Century Fox owns the.
Yeah, the Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
So now we get it back.
For whatever reason, yeah, I know.
really?
For whatever reason, they happen to
Yeah.
own that.
I don't
So
know
Disney
why.
owns Star Wars, but not the song. They have to license it.
Not
Yes.
anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
So basically, what this means, guys, is essentially. Let me see what the price is. Press release issued today confirmed Disney has acquired 21st Century Fox today for $52.4 billion dollars in stocks. The deal affirms that Disney will own the rights to the X-Men, Avatar, Simpsons, FX Networks. FX Networks, probably one of my
Wow.
favorite networks, and National Geographic. I didn't realize that was Fox, but National Geographic, among some other popular entertainment entities. Disney will also acquire 21st Century Fox's 30% stake in Hulu.
Hulu. Oh, shit, so
given
they're
t-
major.
Yes, giving Disney a total stake of 60% in the company.
In future news, Disney buys Hulu.
And in future
integrates them.
news,
That is their
Disney
company.
owns everything.
They own your soul. You know what I don't see here?
Besides Walmart and McDonald's,
They're gonna buy Walmart soon.
I don't see.
Disney-fy everything.
I don't see Fox News.
No,
I don't see Fox
news
Sports.
networks,
Not news.
sports networks, sports stuff.
I think it's more the
those are
entertainment.
still those are still part of they're separate.
Oh, okay.
So they only took in the I guess the part that they go, this is where the money's at. They only took in the big portions of it. So some of those
Wait. So what's gonna happen to like Fox-owned TV shows?
I don't know.
They'll probably have to rebrand.
No. Remember,
No,
stuff
no,
that's
no.
already in motion is already in motion.
Right.
And that they did this with Marvel. When they bought Marvel, whatever was already in motion to be set, They didn't alter. They
Oh
didn't
my
touch.
God. No, but
I'm
It's
just
already
saying,
in motion. Yeah.
if they own 21st Century Fox, Fox News is gonna be. It's not gonna be Fox News. It's gonna be probably something else. Same thing with sports and all the other.
Oh, you're
all
saying
other,
that the brand? I see
Yeah,
what
the
you're saying.
brand.
Unless they keep the
Possibly,
brand name
because they don't
themselves.
technically own those portions. You see what I'm saying? The way Fox is structured, it's in a way where they're able to come in and purchase a portion of it, but the rest of it's still its own entity. So it's an interesting situation.
Imagine Simpsons finally retiring after so many years.
I think it's time. I think they're
wow.
going to put to bed
so
the Simpsons.
retire
Simpsons?
Simpsons, but you know what?
Are they
Bring
doing
back-
bad though?
I have no idea.
Well, because
been
why would
going
why
on-
would they retire them if
been
they're
going
still
on
making
for
money?
years.
I know,
I
but
think
they're still
it's
making
time.
money.
But I'm saying retire Simpsons, bring back Futurama.
Oh, wow,
That could be.
well,
That could
was
be
a
in
favorite,
the
though.
yeah.
that was playing favorite.
A couple things that they also own now is the rights to the war, or rather, the Planet of the Apes.
Oh shit, aliens.
Aliens.
They have aliens
Yes,
now.
they do.
They have a lot of movies that are
yeah.
under 24th
What's the
century
most recent one that you
Fox.
saw? It was called the Kingsman. That was
Oh,
also,
Kingsman was them, yeah.
Those are all properties that are
Well,
owned.
if you think
now.
about it, a lot of movies were owned by Fox.
Oh yeah, 21st Century Fox
Yeah.
was rolling out with films. So
They own Deadpool.
they do own Deadpool, and I don't know what the I mean, Deadpool 2 again is already in motion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah, they can't say
but
no to
Deadpool
that.
3,
Well, no.
You know.
The
Okay, let's
Iger,
not-
the CEO of Disney, actually, he made a clarification, actually, an update. So he says that the company was still committed to working with Deadpool sequels, and foresees a future where Marvel Studios could have an R-rated brand, as long as we let the audience know what's coming. He says, because it makes sense. You know,
does.
Deadpool only works because it's R-rated.
I agree,
Yeah, so
100%. So yeah,
I hope they
big
don't
news.
mess with like they've let Marvel do their own thing. I just
They
hope
have.
they don't.
For the most part,
They let
have.
X-Men, Fantastic Four do their own thing too.
Yeah. As long as they see that nothing happens to the property, they seem to be a little bit hands off, for the most part.
I like
So,
that though
we'll see.
because we've known Disney to be very Disney-fy everything, make it friendly and all. But
And
at least
it's
they know
true.
when
It
to
happens.
stop if it's
Yeah.
bringing money in.
Hopefully,
So, wait. So, episode 7 didn't have the Star Wars fanfare?
it did.
But okay, so the Lances did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but what didn't have the fanfare? Rogue One.
With the original? Yeah, Rogue
Yes,
One didn't
Yes.
have it.
yes,
exactly.
it did not
With
have
the
that.
original fan.
That's why.
You're
That's
looking
what.
this up because
That's why everyone was like,
That's so funny.
That's why, some people were like, oh, it was good, or oh, it was that, because it didn't have that most iconic thing in it.
Honestly, I like the fact they did include because it's
Yeah,
not
'cause
it's not a
really
chapter
a
story
no,
anyway. So yeah,
exactly.
it makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
I like there's a pretty good, there is a pretty good take of all this for movies. You know, it's still kind of iffy. Yes, media consolidation. It doesn't necessarily mean a good thing here. If we could take away a good thing is that Disney has done pretty good with their properties, Star Wars and with Marvel. You know, the recent acquisitions, and we can hope to see something like that now with X-Men. Freaking Fantastic Four, which is like it's in dire need of a complete retooling, like a complete reboot.
They've
Like-
had a reboot. It was all right.
I did not
So
see the
now
last.
I heard it was
Complete-
pretty terrible though.
I heard it was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
I didn't see it though. I still
So hopefully a full reboot.
maybe
Yeah.
and bring it into the fold with Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
All I hope is just, I want to see what they're gonna do with it.
We'll see. I mean, the problem is we're not going to see a lot early on
No, not
because
yet.
they just acquired it. So we'll see what they bring to the table.
Yeah, so you guys are a fan of Metal Gear Survive?
Okay,
You know,
yes.
Wait.
A non-Hideo
Wait.
Kojima game,
Potentially,
potentially. Maybe, yeah, exactly.
it's possible. I
It-
can be.
You know what? I'm not even gonna
Just
lie.
make another
Let-
Left
let-
4
let me-
Dead. Just
Let me
slap
give you the
that
news
thing
and
on
I'll
Okay.
give you my impression. So a beta has been announced. That game's about to be. I mean, it's going to be released early next year, and there is a beta coming out for PS4 and Xbox One in January. And there's a video came out showing a look at the single player portion of that game, which I didn't realize it had a single player portion.
That's because they don't mention it until
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. The way that they're touting this game is like, no, this is not meant to be like in the canon of Metal Gear Solid. This is not a Solid Snake side story or anything like that. This is. You remember you played Ground Zeroes? Mm-hmm. You ever played Ground Zeroes?
Yeah, I
Shadow?
played Ground Zero.
Yes and no.
Uh,
I played maybe like one mission on it.
Okay, well,
Okay.
You played a little bit. So there were some missions after you completed the real canon mission.
Mm-hmm.
There were some missions that were just pretty much out there. You know, one of them had Raiden in it.
Yeah, a bunch
Another
of weird missions that
Yeah.
aren't part of the main storyline, but they just
No, but
let
they're
you do
just there
stuff,
for gameplay purposes.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty much taking on. Okay, this is going to be one of those basically.
But it's a whole game.
I gotta stop saying basically. I basically say basically all the time.
You basically do, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just gonna take it's supposed to take effect on the after the events of Ground Zeroes, where Ground Zeroes ended with the big explosion of whatever, and somehow a wormhole appears and it sucks
they
a
showed
bunch of soldiers into this like alternate universe where you're that's where you're fighting the remember the zombie corn, the zombies with the protruding unicorn horns, basically. I watched the trailer of it. I gotta say, it looked intriguing. It looked interesting for a fuck Konami game. It is something where I'll be interested to see the review scores, because early impressions of it, they're good. But then again, that's not hard to imagine considering
the engine.
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, the engine, of course, first time. And Metal Gear Solid 5 was an amazing game. You know, from the gameplay perspective. Story-wise, it's arguable, but gameplay-wise, it was really amazing. So, yeah, that's coming. And let me see. Yeah, we're on the lookout for that. Oh, Metal Gear Survive will release on February 20th. That's the day on North America, and on February 22nd in Europe for PC, Steam, PS4, and Xbox One.
Awesome.
There's no beta for PCs because fuck PC.
The heck with PC.
Says Mad Dog.
Yes. Loudly. No, I'm just kidding. My final piece here, sir. Patreon. There was been some changes that were changed and then changed again because
I love that. Basically, changes that were changed and then changed again.
And then changed again, yes.
Yeah.
Basically, Patreon is trying to bring back a number of subscribers to the platform after the company's decision to essentially backtrack on their really controversial service fee charge.
All right, let's really back. What is Patreon?
Patreon is a method where a creator of content, of whatever type of content, or particularly media and stuff like that they can go in, create this stuff, and if you like what they do, you have the option to support them by giving them $1, $2, what contribution. It could be monthly, it could be one time, it could be whatever you want. You are contributing to them doing what they're doing. Perfect example. I am a patron to No Clips, which does amazing video game documentaries. I mean, top-notch video game documentaries. Danny O'Dwyer. That's right.
O'Dwyer.
So, I pay him literally, or pay his thing, $3 a month. It's automatic. I don't care. Here you go. Take it. I love what you do. This is me supporting you, right? So Patreon wanted to go in and essentially assess an additional charge for any of the patrons who were going to, who are basically within the $1 to $5 subscribing tier.
Okay, so let me do a clarification because it was not an additional charge. What was happening was that the people that were that they had the Patreon basically running, they, for some of the transactions, of course, of the contribution that were given to them, Patreon will get a cut, and there was a fee also involved that the creators
Had to pay.
had to pay.
Correct.
Well, now that fee was taken away from the creators.
No, it was lessened.
I thought it was. Well, I heard
reduced. It was reduced from the.
I heard one of the creators saying that it was that they were passing it along to the
They are.
customers.
They are passing along a portion of it.
But they didn't have to pay any fees for that conversion.
Let me see if I have the details of how that. Let's see, real quick.
It sounds like
But basically, it is true that it is being passed over. So Patreon announced that the patrons, that's the people paying, would have to pay an additional service fee. Creators posted screenshots of patrons withdrawing their pledges, complaining that the company's new rule will affect the $1 to $5 tier subscribers, which, believe it or not, make up the bulk of their pledges.
Of course, because it's not hard to pledge a dollar.
Yeah.
But then when you say, okay, well, that pledge that you thought it was $1, now it's going to be $1.40 or $1.33, which I believe it was.
They're trying to get. So instead of the Patreons from the creators from paying the full fee, they're trying to get a little bit of the money from everybody else.
I don't have it on this copy here.
And that's.
Well, I follow a
sucks,
creator
honestly.
that I don't Patreon, but
I wanted to do the whole Patreon thing, but I've been a little on and off again because I'm a bit
skittish about it, yeah. Because I mean, it's putting yourself out there, especially with the possibility of that happening. But you're saying that
especially if you don't really know the creator, what they're gonna do, and sometimes they don't follow up with what they do.
Well, yeah. So the whole point is to make it's just like Kickstarter. You want to do your homework on the person you want to support or project you want to support. Right. But who can I ask? Who was the creator that said it was all?
It's a YouTuber called Lion something. He does reviews for tech and stuff. And the way he was describing, he made a video out of it because his job is pretty much almost exclusively Patreon supported. Mm-hmm. And the problem that he was having is that he was okay with paying all the fees. He just didn't want his supporters to have those fees now, because some of the supporters were okay paying $1, $2, $3, whatever. But now with that increase, without notifying them, just completely out of the blue,
that's the worst part.
It seems
the worst part
horrible.
is neither the patrons nor the creators were advised of it.
No. Yeah, that makes you feel like you've been gypped from a website you've been on for so long.
Absolutely. And exactly.
Like I know a lot of artists use Patreon as a way of income.
Yeah.
That's like actually nowadays with YouTube, the way YouTube is now, a lot of people not being able to monetize. This is like the main source for a lot of people. Yeah. So since they heard a lot of feedback.
And Twitch too. I've seen some Twitch streamers doing Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they received a lot of feedback, and they tweeted on yesterday that they're basically going to go back to the drawing board to figure out how. Now, apparently, this is, I guess, something that I guess needs to be pointed out. They are going to restore. They're going to figure out another way to do this, because apparently they're still going to implement this. This apparently was meant to fix something that needed to be fixed. Don't know what it is. We can chalk it up to being, hey, you guys, who? I mean, if it was taking money away, or rather, it was making the creator not pay, and then the subscribers pay. If I don't know if there was any difference between what Patreon got. Needless to say, it wasn't communicated to anybody, and that left a lot of sour taste and everything else. And people left. A lot of these guys lost a lot of subscribers because of it, and of course they're turning back saying, "Hey, no, it's not happening. We're not going to do it, and all this." And
imagine that, like our group, what we do. The podcast and the Facebook group and the get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. We never ask for money. We don't have Patreon. We don't have what's the other platform that is for the same thing, support
I know what you mean.
whatever.
I don't remember the
I don't
name,
remember the name
yeah.
of it. Anyway, because we feel our content, we're still at the beginning stages. We want to build a community first, and we want you guys to like it. We don't want to immediately put a wall, even though it'll never be a wall because it's always
If you want.
if you want, exactly. Then, but the thing is, imagine how members will feel if suddenly, those that out of the group will of their hearts, want to, support us with the contributions, suddenly they get a raise for no reason whatsoever. They're immediately going to think that we're trying something, that we're doing something. They're not going to think Patreon.
They're going to think the creator.
Some of them might, but they're going to think the creators, and that just looks bad, terrible.
Extremely
on them.
bad, yeah.
So of course they backing away from those rules, and it's good.
And they're apologizing.
And
Just like
of course they're
everybody's
apologizing because this has been the year of the apologies. But you know who doesn't have to apologize because they're doing pretty well. Nintendo has reached 10 million sales in 9 months for the Switch.
For the Switch, yeah.
Where is the applause for that Switch?
I know that should be. Give it up for the Switch. My
Shout
God,
out to
man.
Nintendo, guys.
It's impressive because when you consider, for comparison, the Wii U sold just about 13.5 million.
Yeah, just under 14.
Over the 5-year span that it had.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
Not
in 9 months. In 9 months, the Switch has done incredible. And Nintendo, they have an amazing momentum. If they keep it up, I hope they keep it up. And it looks like early showings of next year, Bayonetta, looks very bright.
You think that's coming out next year?
Bayonetta 2 is going out next year.
Okay.
Bayonetta
Perfect.
3 will come out in the fall.
How about a whole collection
is-
with both games on it?
Yeah, they have the collection coming out.
That'd be a little hard though, considering the Switch takes cartridges unless it's digital download only.
No,
it'll be both.
It'll be because remember those games came out. They were 360 eras, which
I know.
back in the day where games were as big as 5 gigabytes or
Because
6
of the
or
disc.
7 gigabytes exactly, not 50, 60 gigabytes. Like now. So I can definitely see them both on a single cartridge, even though that's not really what's going to happen.
Elder Scrolls Online was like almost 70. if I
Yeah,
remember.
look at that.
Devil's advocate here again, because that's
Always
that's the business.
always running with the devil.
Yeah, I
Go
hear
ahead.
you. Do you think this is sustainable? Because this was a great year, or 9 months, I guess technically. You had the Zelda,
You
you
have
had
Mario.
Super Mario, you had between
couple
that,
of
between
Marios,
that you have the surprise hit Mario plus Rabbids. You had your they created ARMS.
Yeah.
You had a lot of titles here.
I think they
Do
might.
you think that next year, because right now, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be they normally do a direct early in the year. Right now, they don't really. Again, yes, you mentioned the Bayonetta. That is still technically a port.
That's all we need.
Yeah,
That's,
no,
all,
I
that's
think-
not technically a port. That is
Part
an
1 and
amazing
2
game.
is a
Yeah,
port,
it's a
okay?
port, yeah.
Part 3, dude, that's 2019 at the earliest, okay? So that's not even next year. So
break my
what I'm
heart.
trying, no, I'm not trying to break your heart. I'm just trying, again, devil's advocate. Do you think this is sustainable? This rate
for
that they're
next
going
year,
to?
the rate? No.
I mean, it's 10 million in 9 months.
I'll
so that
tell
was,
you what's going to happen.
try to do the math here.
Next,
That's about 12 million
this
a year.
Is, this the 2018 for the Switch is the year of the smaller titles coming. Because if you see right now, the influx of titles that are coming on the Switch are smaller titles.
Yes, but
of
now
indies,
it's becoming
amazing.
crowded. Very crowded, very quickly.
No, not the Switch.
Also, don't forget.
not this.
Quite literally, last week, there were like 20 titles coming to the Switch. They were all indies. You're going, okay, here we go. Now
Yeah,
we're getting the flood. The floodgates have opened here.
Okay, okay, all right. I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Comparing,
So-
I was thinking of. I thought you were meaning like Steam level of.
No,
of that.
no,
Yeah.
we're nowhere near that. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
we're nowhere near that.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, I mean, so my argument, it will need to have a title. It's not gonna be like mobile, and it's not gonna be like
No,
Steam.
no, I don't think it's going to be like
So,
that. But
if
it can get crowded like PSN.
I don't think PSN is crowded at all.
I mean,
What
when
have
you
you been
compare it to
looking
Steam,
for,
tell me,
honestly?
dude.
Huh?
You know
I
what?
said, what have you even been looking for? Honestly, it is a little bit crowded.
Next year,
No.
next week, I'm gonna include all the releases that come to PSN, and you're gonna be shocked to see. You're gonna be. I swear to God,
I mean,
95% of them you never heard the name.
Multiple that come out on
Here's
the
the
same
thing.
day.
Maybe you guys. Okay, so maybe what's happening is that. See, I'm a PC gamer. I know what crowded is. If
No,
you're telling me that
definitely.
20 releases in a week for a console is crowded, I'm like, no, you should actually look at Steam.
No,
No,
I've
definitely.
seen Steam, but the thing is,
So-
though, is that a lot of those are just they're regular people who put their stuff in that. Yes,
God, yes.
And
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. But a lot of that also, depending what it is, gets taken down as well.
True. But I
Yeah.
mean, still, it's
But
still,
there's still
even,
more that-
even with hundreds
And
that get taken down. you
also,
have
Yeah,
it's-
mobile.
Yeah.
When I think crowded, I think mobile. I think the mobile. I don't
True.
think PSN.
Don't get me wrong.
It's at that level.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's not.
That's
but,
what I mean by crowded.
But nothing's slowing it down to get to that level. Is what I'm trying to say. It's
I don't see it
just,
growing either.
it's just,
Like that
dude.
level.
There's no. Realistically, on PSN right now, there is no oversight. Games are just coming on the system.
I tell you what the problem.
It's
as long
just
as they pass
overwhelming
cert-
for the console. That's
yeah,
all it
exactly. I would
is.
put it that way. It's probably overwhelming for the console.
So, being that the little console that could,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
has
If it-
already just so, I mean, that's why, truthfully, that's why they're flourishing right now.
well,
A lot
we
of
were
these- a lot of these,
complaining about the
titles.
Wii U not having titles.
True,
What's
true.
wrong with them having titles?
But what I'm saying is this sustainable? Is the fact, because I think
no,
that
yeah.
the console being sold this much,
Uh-huh.
which is great for them, and I'm happy that that's happening, has a lot to do with we have a Zelda,
we have a Zelda,
Mario.
we have a Mario, we're
We're
have
not
a
going to
Mario
have a Zelda.
alternative.
Yeah, we're not going to have a Mario proper or Zelda
Yeah.
proper probably for another 2, maybe 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So
we might have a pig, a
Pikmin?
Pikmin. we might have. I mean,
Metroid?
not for me. I don't care. You know,
The thing is, though, is that they're still
Splatoon.
filling things in.
True.
They're
true.
still bringing stuff in. We have no idea how 2018 is.
No.
and also,
Also, they've mentioned a Pokemon game.
That's far
there's
out.
that's
we also
that's a
know
huge
that
one.
more or less
That's a great
Super
one.
Smash Brothers is going to be coming.
That's
True.
another thing. Yeah.
But those literally had titles. They don't have any gameplay. They didn't have any trailers.
Oh, okay, right.
Those may not even come next year. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, we'll see once the
Right. There's
comes. And
I
plus,
mean, yeah.
they're also bringing online play
Oh,
Yeah.
paid
Wow.
with
They
the
don't
new year.
with the with the year that they have had. Some might argue that they don't need to show their hand just yet. You know.
True.
And
True that.
and because you're seeing people looking at these levels of sales, third parties could start getting interested on putting stuff. Now the problem is, I personally, this is me. I don't care about a Doom, on Switch because it's not gonna be a good version. Make games for the console.
You know what
Make
I
games
think
for
though?
that.
I think with a company that doesn't gloat enough, you get worried.
Yeah. They
kinda-
don't glow. Do they glow?
Yeah.
They don't
No,
glow.
On their president. Oh, I'm thinking of Reggie.
When they-
Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reggie
but that's
Reggie likes
when
to-
it happens, but you don't hear much
no,
between them.
No.
So when
they
you don't hear much, people get worried. Oh, what they're bringing, and then they bring up this next big thing
No.
again.
Well,
It's
I'm
like,
looking forward
Yeah.
to the first of the year's Nintendo Direct to see what
you know,
they
yeah,
have
to
to
see
say.
what
And I
it-
hope they don't just bring out nothing but 3DS titles.
Because no, exactly.
Because it'll be like
They need to. They have a good momentum now.
Yes.
They need to sustain
you
it.
forgot to mention Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Xenoblade. Oh, well, Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
well,
that's
that's,
not.
that's
I know,
how.
I know.
That's not. Yeah, that's
that's-
I know,
that's a
but
great
yeah.
addition.
Those
yeah.
are long games
Yeah.
that will sustain people
Correct.
for a bit.
Correct.
And
Definitely
once
good to
again,
put in the
since
library.
they don't gloat enough, we have no
But they're-
idea what they're playing.
That's Square. That no, that's Lewis. I don't know. But Square Enix was saying, hey, they're bringing
Their interest
they're
is
interested in
in
supporting
yeah.
the.
But again,
Imagine
So the third parties
seeing-
are
the third parties that they said early on
early on.
that were involved.
Uh-huh.
The major one was EA. EA is already on the shit list
I don't
as
care
far as I'm
about.
concerned.
I don't care about anything that EA brings to the. We can say that.
Yeah. So Bethesda has surprisingly
Yeah.
been all on board. I mean, they brought
Yeah.
some major titles and made them work.
Yeah.
And then sort of a sidebar to that, 2K through NBA 2K18 also made it to the thing. So it is possible to get these certain ports. I
Yeah.
agree it should be for the console, but if you can make it work on it and make it, hey, that could be it too. But I agree that yes, you do have some developers and publishers looking at it going, hey, this is actually a good place to start doing stuff. We're gonna go ahead and start doing that.
Yeah.
If
'Cause,
they're
I
saying
mean,
that right
just
now,
like-
if
just
they're
like with
saying that right
us-
now, that's 2 to 3 years from now. You know
But
what I mean?
just like with us, like there are people who only prefer Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have games that we've had for a while come to and be like, oh,
No, yeah, that's
They can
great.
still
that's great.
enjoy
But
it.
that may not. That may please the current owners, not
Mm.
particularly get new ones. You know what I mean? So
But
that's
it-
all I mean.
yeah.
Devil's
See,
advocate,
'cause
guys.
I'm thinking they might be bringing more, of course, like they've always done, more party orientated, more family orientated games.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the whole single player, because Nintendo's all been about fun, family friendly, and
And that sells.
party
Yeah.
games.
That definitely sells.
And Exile announced or showed a teaser that Wasteland 2 might be coming on Nintendo Switch, and they have a little. They have the game running on the Nintendo Switch
that's
already.
actually- okay.
So and that's a really good game.
That
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the minute they bring Overwatch to the Switch, forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that online system, I don't know.
No, definitely not.
I don't know about that.
That's the thing, exactly. For all Nintendo, it's still a crappy online system that you guys have. Nintendo.
I hear you. I hear you.
I got two small updates left.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Hit them.
Yeah, go ahead and lay those down. I have also two that I just want to throw out there.
Yeah, so Destiny 2
Mm-hmm.
has bringing the dawning over.
Oh, is that their holiday? That's what they call it, the holiday.
The holiday, their winter event. It's from December 19th through January 9th. They'll add a bunch of winter themed stuff like snowball fights and event specific milestones. And we'll also bring the Mayhem game mode back to the Crucible. So for those playing that.
Destiny 2. I heard it's not doing that great with the players.
With the players, I say it was doing
all
great with sales. Yeah.
But there are
Yeah.
people who
Oh, they're
still
doing
play
great
it.
themselves. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Another one is that Square Enix announced actually today on podcast recording day, which is Thursday today,
Thursday, December 14th.
that they're bringing the episodic game Life is Strange to iOS.
Oh, I saw
So
that.
now you can get your Feels train going on
Yeah.
on the go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Unless you're an Android user, because you're heartless.
And I guess on a final note with that game, Before the Storm, final episode is coming out December 20th, so next week.
Oh, nice.
So for
Nice.
those who were kind of on the fence about it, now you can wait next week till the final episode comes out and then just
Buy
buy
'em
the
all.
season pass.
There you
I
go.
heard that one's good too.
Very good.
Yeah. So PUBG's not running very good on Xbox.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Poor Xbox.
This is not even a piece of news. That was.
It's just
that
an
was out there.
observation.
It's just an
No,
observation.
you should let people know anyway how
Yeah.
it looks.
Yeah, there's been some videos floating and some analysis, like some good analysis. Like the guys, my God, the guys at Digital Foundry are amazing. All of you, I'm free advertisement. All of you should subscribe to those guys if you're interested in knowing the performance of different titles, of the major titles that you're interested on the different platforms.
This is YouTube, right?
This is YouTube, yes, yes. Digital Foundry is an offshoot of Eurogamer, which is also a very good publication. So, they were showing this game, and there's areas in this game where textures won't load to the point where you will swear you're looking at a PS1 title. And not only that,
More like a Nintendo 64 title.
but yes, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh
I messed
my.
up. A Nintendo 64 title. You're absolutely right. There's some other areas where the frame rate chugs so bad that I don't know. Like, I don't understand how this will even be playable. And
I don't know how this passes cert. Explain
I
to me
don't
that.
either.
Yeah.
Why is it even? Because
I
I
tell
heard
you
it was
why.
also being
I'll give
horrendous
you the
on
why.
the Xbox One X too.
Yeah,
which meant
not
to
even
be
on the Xbox
the
One X.
greatest thing ever.
This game runs decent, and I tell you why. This game. I mean, some might say, yeah, sure. This is an early access game. Yeah, but you know what? The moment you put a sticker price to your early access game, it's now a game that. And it's free will for anybody to criticize it, to review it. Even I will go as far as to say to review, because reviews are to inform the consumers. Hey, should you get this? Well, right now at this stage on Xbox, no. And that's the short answer. The long answer will be no. This game is not ready
What
for
are you
prime
talking-
time.
All you gotta do is just show them that video. They'll
Oh my god! So
Yeah,
there's
just
just
don't
other
even
video.
say anything. Just put the video, slide your phone over, be like, watch that.
You know what? I'll put in the.
Yeah,
I'll put in the show. I'll remember to put it, because this is not to hit again on Xbox or anything like that. I mean, they're
If
a
anything,
dead
no.
horse
It's Blue Hole.
already.
Yeah.
They're a dead horse already.
Damn, I want to go that
And-
far.
oh, this year they are.
Oh, okay,
This
this year.
year it feels like this has not been a kind year for Xbox.
This year had Cuphead.
And
That's
oh
it.
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And Halo Wars 2.
Really, really early on.
Yes.
And it couldn't even win the best strategy game.
Yeah, I'm just a little angry at the fact that they have
such
the
a
galls
bad port,
to
honestly.
charge for this, when this really should be a beta test for an open beta for everybody. There's no way to get this for free and play it and test it and help the developers.
You know, this is why Epic Games is thriving at the moment.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, because it's not like the PC version
Because it's on
is super
Xbox
optimized
as well.
Yeah, it's not like they're optimized, but come on. I mean, Fortnite came up like the other day, was that they did their battle royale and they had that shit locked down, and you
In
see
their
this
defense,
running.
they've been working on that game for 5 years, so.
No,
Oh, I
true.
should
Well,
have
let's be
explained
real.
that.
But the
I
battle
played the
royale
50
was,
versus 50 as well.
Yeah.
the battle royale was
Should've
a
explained
recent
that.
addition. So yeah.
Or Microsoft.
Yeah, no, yeah. See, we don't want to be that guy, because hey, I'm platform agnostic, as I always like to reiterate. And I love my the Xbox 360. I couldn't love the Xbox One, but I said I was gonna buy an Xbox One X. But give me a reason. Right now, there's no reason to. So
I feel bad for them because, like, they should have had exclusive, but then they put it on
screwed
that
the pooch
whole
on that,
on the
yep.
go thing and
Yeah.
screwed themselves.
yeah. So all right. So to bring it again to another feel good moment. The Predator is coming to Ghost Recon Wildlands, believe it or not. And this is amazing. This might just be, if this is a permanent add-on, this might just be the tilt that I'll maybe get this game. Because, oh my God, does it look hot. So, the trailer that was released says, "Can you survive the hunt?" and it's just a teaser, as of right now.
So is it like Manhunt but with Predator?
Yeah, I guess. How cool is that? The
That's actually pretty
freaking
badass,
Predator in the what?
That is pretty badass.
I know. It is cool. So let me see. From December 14 to early January, Predator will bring unique skills to a special challenge that will see players, solo or up to 4 players in co-op, hunting the creature and being hunted in return.
Wow.
So this is
So
like
like
the
Manhunt.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And like the movie, like you said, yeah.
It sucks that it looks like it's a limited thing. It should be, to me, they should make that a permanent.
If people like it enough and if it goes well enough, they might make it permanent.
Problem there is
the license.
the license.
Yeah, they're probably
That too.
which is probably why it's limited, especially since Disney just bought that.
No, exactly.
So it's like,
We all know
fuck.
Disney will be
Yeah.
all over that. Be
Yes,
like, why are you using our stuff?
Yeah. Lastly, there was a cool game, a really old game from like 2006 actually on PC called Titan Quest. And Titan Quest was an old Diablo-alike game, the old Diablo-like game. That game it got picked up by when the company that acquired the THQ rights and then renames themselves
Nordic,
THQ,
yeah. THQ Nordic,
yeah, they actually started releasing patches for that old game again and an expansion pack also. So, and that's a cool title. You know, that's a good title on PC. I'm happy. I own that game, and I'll happily play the expansion. So apparently it's now coming to PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch.
When exactly?
Let me see. They say they have March 20th of 2018, and
That's like right around the corner.
that's not bad, yeah.
and priced at $30. Although the Switch version is not coming, it's not coming on that day. It's just Xbox and PS4. Switch version will be done.
At a
Quote,
later date.
when it's done. End
Awesome.
quote.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the hot topic.
Hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
I did it
I
just for
hope
that.
you do not.
I did it just for that.
I hope we don't get copyright for that. Better not.
we should
Oh,
be
of
fine.
course not. You know, we don't want to get confused by the hit from the '80s. Hot topic.
Or the,
How did it go?
Or
Hot
the
topic.
Hot Pockets.
Hot pockets. Yeah. Hot pockets.
So the topic is simple, guys. It basically asks a question, is it time to give up on games as a service? What I mean by this, and I guess I need to elaborate, because I see 0 comments on the post. So people are like,
people went
what the
like-
hell does he mean?
Exactly.
It's all right. I was asking a whole bunch of questions.
No worries. So what essentially I mean by that is not obviously that the games as service right now that are out there, you need to pull the plug on the servers and say, the hell what you got? No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that not every game can be a games as a service. And to give an example, EA, the idiots that are there, I don't know what else to call them, but let's call
Monopoly
them,
man
you know what, let's
himself.
call them the gerbils over at EA.
The German.
Okay. Essentially, they see dollar signs in it, right? Because they're like,
The executives do.
Anthem is going to be games as a service. They pulled the plug on Visceral game that was supposed to be a Star Wars, whatever, because no, we're going to make this more of a games as a service. We want to do a Destiny thing on this. There's only so many that you can do, first off, one. And two, how often nowadays are these companies making apologies because of some stupid thing that happened on their game as a service?
Yeah.
Too
Destiny's
often.
all the time now.
Too often.
All the time.
It shouldn't even be happening that much.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing that you have with a game as a service is that there's always a risk that whatever you're paying for right now, whatever you're investing on, because remember, these companies are want you nickel and dime you for you to get extra stuff. That's the whole point of the ecosystem.
And when done right, that's not a bad thing.
No, yeah, but it still bothers me to the fact that at any point they can pull the plug on said game, and you no longer have the service, and you no longer see the game. And it's sad when you have, for example, characters that you have spent many hours developing, and you have many experiences with them, and not be able to continue. Those that character that you spend a lot of time with and with your friends creating. Like I'm thinking of MMOs. I'm gonna bring it back to MMOs because I feel like that's where things started to change with gaming as far as offering you something in return for your monthly your monthly payment. So when Star Wars, before the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO came out, there was already a Star Wars game. It was pretty terrible, but it still have its following, and it was there for years, And the problem is that at one point they decided to stop to stop that service because, of course, the new MMO was coming out. The one that you should be considering purchasing. I believe it was around 2011, December, no less. And a lot of people were really upset to the point of there were people even crying. I saw videos of reactions of people because it was like, man, all this time, this world, and now now it's over. So there's an emotional attachment, and I'm not saying there's a solution, to that. Obviously, if it's going to work as a game where there's a server involved, that server is understood is not gonna be there forever. So at some point it's gonna end. So I guess it's the nature of the beast.
It is.
It's the nature of the beast. That said, that was before. Now the problem that we're having is the greediness of companies is such that they're altering gameplay mechanics or taking away stuff in order to put it behind some sort of paywall, whether that paywall is an expansion. Like when Destiny came out with its latest expansion with Destiny 2, suddenly all the most of the end game of the original game that you spent $60 off and that came out like only a couple of months ago was no longer accessible if you didn't have the expansion, And they do shit like that because they think they could get away with that. And
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish because I'm gonna go devil's advocate again.
You're gonna devil advocate
on this.
He's just been on the neutral spectrum.
Yes.
I don't know how
today.
you know. More hated.
That's all right.
I'm more hated. Yeah. I probably am. I just don't know.
But you have to see both sides of
you
it.
do. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I know.
So
I'm just jesting.
Correct. But the devil's advocate end of this is to say, while yes, it could be as nefarious as them saying, "Oh, we're releasing something here for the guys who already paid $6, we're gonna make them pay for the Curse of Osiris so they can still play the ending game," or it could be something as silly as, "Crap, we didn't know this was gonna happen when it came out. Like it wasn't even planned. Like whatever reason, it just ended up getting locked because." Stupid stuff happen in games. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid stuff happens in games, but
stuff happens
that
in
is
games.
Giving them a wide margin of innocence.
No, I'm not saying. Again, this is not. Listen to how I'm saying this.
Yeah. I know.
This is innocent. I'm simply stating. Like for instance, there was. Oh gosh, what was the game? This is obviously this is obviously on a smaller scale, but I think it's Oh gosh, we were just talking about
Warframe?
No, the one that comes out on the 20th. You were just mentioning.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. The new one. Whatever before the storm.
The prequel one.
The prequel. So there was there's a separate thing that not part of the main story, like the episode. What is it like
the farewell episode?
The farewell episode. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Where once that farewell episode was released, evidently the platinum trophy that you can get throughout the game now got locked behind this farewell whatever, which was obviously not intended. All right, and I don't know if they got back to it.
I don't think they were thinking their marketing department. Hey, what if we don't let them get a platinum trophy? They might be inclined to buy this episode. No, I get you.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand on a minor scale. Yeah,
correct.
That is,
so as ridiculous as it may be, and as much as I like to think that Bungie and all the technical guys in the back are on top of everything. You know what I'm saying? We all know you change one thing in the game, a lot of things change. You know what I mean? And what was like a simple thing as the most ridiculous thing. You remember you mentioned it, that Prometheus lens, right? Remember Prometheus lens? You remember their words behind. After they release a statement that the reason we're going to make it available to everybody, whatever, and next time we're going to put more emphasis in playtesting before releasing. So that was like, so what you're saying is you did not playtest this. I'm like, you guys, and as silly as it is,
that sounded like an empty apology to me.
No, it was an empty apology. It was an empty apology. That said, I wouldn't put it past them to be that ridiculous on top of that. To say, shit, we didn't even actually test this thing, and look, it's screwing everything up.
Yeah, but
because we thought it was a cool looking weapon. You know what I mean?
The difference is like to bring it back on the Life is Strange, not able to get a platinum.
Without buying the thing.
Exactly. I don't think that would have been a marketing decision.
That actually goes. I don't really think that should be going into that part because that goes with any episodic game. Because if you want to get more trophies, you have to buy the extra episode. Mm-hmm. So no matter what,
but normally the main story, like Walking Dead had. The Walking Dead season something had the main story, and then they had like 400 days, something called 400, which is like a separate episode. That original platinum trophy that was under the main Walking Dead was not suddenly locked behind 400 days, requiring you to play 400 days. You can get this trophy.
I think that's what ended up happening. Part of,
but that's what happened with. No, see, that's what happened with the Life is Strange thing. The moment they released their farewell episode, and it again, I don't think it was intended. Mm-hmm. It just got locked behind. It locked behind the episode. Now, there
would have been a marketing gain for doing that.
Exactly. Yeah.
However, there would have been a good marketing gain for trying to get away with. Let's lock this end game so they are forced to buy that. That would have been a huge marketing gain. That's why I say. No. You don't.
No, I know what you mean.
I don't get to defend you.
And just not a defense.
I know. It's another view. Another what if?
What if they were that ridiculous and they released the thing? They are.
I mean,
and suddenly, and this is that brings me back to the point of the thing. It's like perhaps you guys are just not capable of running a game as a service. You know what I mean? Maybe just make a game single player. Considering just let it go.
Considering you know what I mean? They were responsible for one of the most successful, if not the parallel of the definition of games as service, like Destiny 1 was. Even though Destiny 1 was at the beginning when it came out, it was some hot mess. It was incomplete. Some might fail. Apology. And it was apology, and they still ragged. A gajillion.
Correct.
And then they made Destiny 2.
But at what point are we going to suddenly say we don't care about your apology anymore? We're done with this. Like we're washing our hands already with EA. I've washed my hands with EA. At what point do we suddenly say the same thing to Blizzard? Or do we suddenly say the same thing to Ubisoft? Because they have like 4 services going at the moment.
It has to be that level of a level of abuse is never where people say enough. I feel like it's getting there. Maybe with Activision, with EA. To me, it already reached that point. Mm-hmm. It was little by little. It was the annoying thing that they were doing. That had me like, man, this company is crap. This company, man, and you shut down. And you shut down Visceral, and you filled out Dead Space 3 with microtransactions, and you paywall this and that. And it was so constant that it reached the point of okay, enough. And that was with Star Wars, which is a loving franchise of mine, and their abusiveness with their microtransaction crap. So maybe at the point that Activision reaches that, maybe even with Destiny. Players will be like, okay, enough of this bullshit. We're moving on. Problem is that the only other thing to move on is, well, not the only thing, but one of the major things is probably going to end up being Anthem. And that's EA. It probably bad EA. So who knows? I'm not a huge fan of games as service because I feel like it's nothing but a platform. It's no longer a game, a good game. They're not giving you. They're not giving you. The focus is not giving you a great experience. The focus is giving you a great experience for the purpose of taking money away from you. I don't know if there's a difference. I feel like there's a difference. So at least to me,
That view is a little. I see what you're saying. It's a little bit of a cynical view, but yes, I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's
I like to think that there's a good portion of people within that development community and yeah, maybe even the publishing side that says, "Hey, we want to keep bringing you guys good content. We want to include something good. We want to make this the place you come back to play every time you think of turning on your console."
well, when I see a fantastic from a gameplay perspective, a fantastic title like Shadow of War. Shadow of War, super entertaining, amazing mechanics, one of the most amazing gameplay, what do you want to call it, features, with the Nemesis system of any game, a game changer. I don't know how it hasn't been copied just, yet. And they use that, now that they have the good game now, and now they try to put into it ways of getting money from you.
True.
That's what I mean by, well, yeah, there was some good people. Unfortunately, the backing was the evil publishing companies. I want to say evil publishing companies, but you know what I mean.
I'm not sure if I would use that one as an example because that's still really a single player game, so not really a community like you would have in other ones. But I see what you mean.
But it's still a game. It's still an example of a good game that got bad, which is abusive,
correct, yeah.
Microtransactions, and but I feel like there are games that still do it well, and believe it or not, Blizzard has a couple of them. I don't mind the way Overwatch does it, to be honest with you, even though that was not going to be my example. My example was going to be more like Diablo. I feel like a Diablo 4, however, now this is going to be Activision trying to tighten the knot, tighten the belt and trying to get them to actually...
If it works for Destiny.
If it works for Destiny, exactly.
I can see another Diablo coming. So.
Exactly. A Diablo where it will be, abusive in that sense. And that's a sad thing.
Yeah. That said, I don't know if you have anything to follow up with.
Well, I was just letting you guys do it, and plus I haven't been talking much because I'm tired.
She's falling asleep in the corner over there.
Yeah, she worked hard.
Yeah, she did.
And I didn't really want to hunch over.
We're not recording on our typical day. We're recording on a Thursday rather than a Friday because Friday is Star Wars Day.
It's Star Wars Day. That's right. Tomorrow we are, for the record, not part of the hot topic, but we are going to be seeing Star Wars tomorrow, the 15th of December.
Expect probably a video review, short review
right afterwards.
Good luck, because don't spoil it for me.
Oh no!
No. We will have it.
Yeah. We will have it.
Anything.
Yeah. So I mean, in the end, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing to have game of service. I just think if that's what you want to do, go ahead.
No, you finish now. So
if that's what you want to do, like the big I come back to is an example: Marvel Heroes, Omega. That was on the console, Marvel Hero on the PC, whatever. Perfect example of how this was Disney. And I really think that Disney probably pulled the plug because they said, you know what? We don't know what's going on here. We don't know how to sustain this model. And they just said that. And they stopped, and then Gazillion went out of business. And they just completely pulled the plug. I don't want that because, one, there's lost jobs. Two, there's a game that was apparently extremely good that now is defunct. You can't even, get into it. I don't want that. But I don't want poorly ran services if you're going to do as a game as a service.
Yeah.
I don't want every 2 weeks or every other month to have an apology from the developer saying, "Hey, I know we released, Bob's gun and it was overpowered and we didn't
My bad.
know,
Here,
but hey, we're going to work on it." And it's like, no, if you are dedicating to making this the model you want to use, then you need to dedicate to play tests. You need to dedicate, and don't get me wrong, I understand it's not exactly a piece of cake to release and sustain a balanced game. I get it. Hence the reason Overwatch is constantly being tweaked. You have all these systems and that are on all these games. They're constantly being tweaked. I get it. It's not an easy thing to do, but don't half-ass it either. Because and also don't be secretive. You know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, this is what we intend to do. Maybe throw it out to them. What do you guys think? Do you think that we should do this? Whatever. Throw it out to them. See if that's what they say. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna test it. When you do it that way, maybe you'll have more of a better response from everybody. But when you don't say nothing and you suddenly change something, or you throttle the experience, or you do God knows what else you do, and you don't say anything to anybody, and then you get caught later.
Yeah, that just looks
exactly.
That just looks like you're greedy,
and that's the worst part. It paints a bad color or a picture of what games as a service should be.
And there's a pattern that don't think that we're not noticing. All your quote unquote mistakes just happen to be a mistake in favor of you getting more money somehow. Whether it's this content suddenly is locked now, or now we're throttling XP, so they are more willing to just go and buy, what is it that they're getting with the XP, the
like I said,
bright engrams or whatever.
If they were upfront with stuff and say, hey, this is what we plan to do. We plan to implement it at this point, and it, throw us your opinions, throw us what you think. You will most likely have, especially people who are like extremely involved with the community, go, yeah, go ahead, I'll be all right with it. Yeah. Whatever it is, even if it looks like something like, oh, this looks like it may be whatever. Oh, maybe they're trying to. Hey, they threw it up front. They're asking the community responds. And it's a better overall thing. Otherwise, if you can't do that, you don't want to do that. Just make regular games. Yeah. Because obviously this is not for you.
Yeah. I hope I hope the whole thing becomes a bubble that bursts and
it will.
Suddenly we go back to it. Because I don't want all my games to be games as service. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree. She speaks.
Of course. So, with the whole apologizing thing, just don't apologize. Just be like, all right, and get it done.
Get it done. Yeah. Get her done.
Yeah, pretty much. I know games service has been a very popular thing now, and the way I see it as a way of developers to just focus on one thing, since so many people like it. Like GTA, for instance. We haven't seen another Rockstar game until Red Dead now. So they're going to keep doing it, keep milking it because people enjoy it.
Because they're doing
good. And it's giving money, too. And it worries because I don't want, my other favorite, like I love single player, I love good stories. I do not want that become game service because developers are like, this is bringing money, let's just continue this instead of actually being creative and making something else. And that's the beauty of gaming.
Yeah, and I don't want my games to be homogenized just because, hey, this is a game that is meant to be played by everyone and get all your friends. And I know that sounds good and paradisey, but the problem is when you're creating Destiny games, you're trying to create a story for everyone. Suddenly everything becomes, again, homogenized. You get the same thing, the same story told on different universes, but it's pretty much the same crap. So
but that's
another problem.
It's why game service is a thing, is because it's bringing money. Games are becoming more and more expensive to make, and that right there is what's bringing them money enough to continue that.
Then you know what? Raise the fucking prices. I'm willing to spend $70 for a game. You might, $80
but not
for
everyone
a game.
else. That's the thing.
But they're doing it. But they're taking. They're getting ream up the ass with the microtransactions. Anyway. So.
But that's why, because there are people who are okay with raising it, but then there are people who are not. You got to understand that we're lucky in America to have $60 games, but. Like, I know in Canada, it's like almost 70.
Yeah.
Australia, almost 100.
Australia is the one that's way
That's true, yeah.
Because tax is up the roof. Because we are lucky to have it at 60 games. At $60. $60 a game or less.
Yeah.
So there are people who are okay to pay more like you, but then there are people who are not because
Unable
with
to.
that money and unable to because with that money they'll be like, why would I pay for a game when I can use this to pay for food or something more important?
Like a loot box.
Like a loot box.
Not important, but okay.
Well, they're still
what
paying for
yeah,
it.
paying for it,
They're
yeah.
still paying for it.
$100 loot box, I heard, was an actual thing recently.
Oh yeah, there was a game. I don't think it deserves to be mentioned because
Okay.
fuck that game.
Fuck that game.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the real episode 86.
Hold on. Before we end it, what have we been drinking? 'Cause this shit is fantastic. Let me tell you.
Yes, you've had 3, and I'm a little worried now.
No,
no,
I'm
it's
good.
called Newcastle Brown Ale.
Oh, it had to be a brown ale.
Brown
See,
ale.
brown ales are my favorite ales.
I've noticed.
Yes, they are.
You
Absolutely.
know, he should take the trip to come to Thursday dinners to try all the beer that
Yeah,
we get.
we normally have a
Oh,
a
yes.
plethora
A plethora.
of different, what do you call
You
that?
remind me of
Beverages of merriment.
and coming soon, the GG branded.
GG branded beer.
So,
big yummer-
so in other words, you're drinking like wheat juice or grain juice.
Pretty
in
much
other
grain
words.
juice. Oh, that's awesome.
And with that, take us home.
All right, guys. So, again, this brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. Like, subscribe, share the podcast with all your friends. We desperately appreciate it. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, signing off for this week. Mr. Dreamy Twister.
I love brown ales. I hate IPAs.
Okay, so he's drunk. Ms. Shadow 24/7.
Okay, I can understand that because IPAs are better. Really better.
Yeah.
But I've gotten used to that thanks to this guy over here.
Yeah. I've
I
been
mean, if you're
training
drinking it
her.
pretty much every other day, of course, you get used to it.
She's going to be.
I don't
don't
hate
drink-
them. To be clear,
I
I don't
don't
hate
drink
them.
that
It's
much,
just my
hello?
my least favorite of the. You don't drink as much as Mad Dog.
Hey,
here.
hey, hey.
No, very rarely, actually. Very rarely.
She's going to become a beer connoisseur, as far as I'm concerned. All right, guys. So we see you next week.
GG!